here. It's big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California. The first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson. My friend's name is David Tuckman. He's going to be doing the commentary with me tonight. What's going on, Dave?
Not much.
You know, is it a little thing like, you know, I see that you're kind of getting into the Letterman pencil thing, that when we come on, you seem to be doing something else?
Yeah, I want to make it look like I'm busy.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Like we actually have things to do.
Okay, well, tonight is 10:20, No Limit Hold'em. It's our bluff night, and the biggest bluff of the night, as voted by you, the viewers, will get a choice between two prizes. A luxury suite at a Clippers game next week, good for 6 people plus parking and refreshments at the game, or a Kings game.
And these are like luxury boxes.
Luxury suite.
Okay.
Luxury suite.
That's kind of cool.
So that's pretty cool.
And the Clippers are right now the best team in LA, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
Okay.
So without further ado, let's get to the action.
Why don't we do that?
And we're going to go around and introduce the table. Now, right before you start, Dave, I want to say I had told some people in the thread about the show that Carlos from last night was in the game. He was, but he just busted out. And Mo is stuck to the tune of about $3,500 already.
Yeah,
so.
they started the game too early.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, in Seat 1, we've got Barry, Don't Call Me Greenstein Wood, and he's got a lot of money behind him. Wow. Seat 2, we've got Juan Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, Juan Joe. Seat 3, we've got Mike, Corporation, Mike that is, looking bald as ever. Seat 4, we've got Jesus.
Coming to the table.
Yeah, obviously not there right now. Seat 5, we've got Action Joe Win. Seat 6, we've got nobody right now, but we'll get somebody in there right away. This game's got a large board. That was Carlos' seat.
Yep.
Seat 7, a relatively new player to the game, we've got Jason.
Right.
It's actually Jason Katsutani, and he is an action player. I mean,
super action.
he's actually in similar gaming style to Corporation Mike. And a lot of players don't really like to play against these guys because they're somewhat dangerous.
Right.
You never know what he's raising with. Seat 8, we've got Mo. And Mo is actually not there right now, obviously, so maybe we'll get another player in there. And Seat 9, we've got Track Win.
Track Win.
Track Win is a local tournament professional.
Now, anyone that, you know, old school Live the Bike fans remember, Jason won a shootout about 4 or 5 months ago to remember his play over there in Seat 7, and then refused to do an interview with me after the show.
Yeah, he doesn't like you.
Yeah, if anybody remembers that. I went
Why doesn't he
there,
like you?
and he refused to do an interview with me. I don't know. Why? I mean, I would think that I'm liked by all.
Yeah, and mostly. I mean, seemed like a likable guy.
Now,
This is kind of cool.
limped around here. And Jason's bet in here with Deuce 8 of clubs. We're going to see this type of play all night long, Dave. All night long. And look at this. Mike. Did he call with King 3? Yeah, he's got second pair.
Well, he's got him dominated. Look at this. They both
Wait
have
a minute.
clubs.
I think he actually raised. He raised 200. He's raised 200 here. Yeah, there it is.
So how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay.
And Jason's coming back over the top with Deuce 8. He's going to make it 680, and Mike folds. And again, this is the type of what we call laggy play we're going to be seeing all night.
What do you call it?
Loose aggressiveness.
Oh, laggy.
Extreme loose aggressiveness.
That's like a sniglet. You just made one up.
Well, I'd seen it on the forums before.
Oh, did you? Okay, laggy play.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, very loose, very aggressive. Nice play there by Jason. Sensed some weakness and took advantage of it.
So the button's going to move over here to Jason in seat number 7. And I think we got a straddle here. Pot is straddled.
Pot's been raised to 160.
$160 raise here by by seat number 7. He's got king, queen, and Mike's going to call with ace, deuce.
Well, he's got the best hands.
Here we go. About a $330 pot going to the flop.
Well, these guys are going to butt heads all night.
9-4 queen. Jason's got top pair.
This is the nice thing about Jason's game is he bets when he has nothing. He also bets when he has something.
Look at this. No, he's not going to bet, Dave.
But what do I know?
Turns a 4.
We might hit the 4. 260.
And now Mike's going to bet. He's going to bet 260. And like you said, this is going to be real entertaining to watch.
Well, Jason induced that bluff. It's not a question of is he going to call. It's a question, is he going to call or raise?
Looks like he called.
Well, he's going to see if Mike fires again.
Pot's about $800 now, and the river's a 10.
620.
And Mike's going to bet 620 here.
And Jason's definitely going to call.
So the pot's about $1,400, 620 to call. Could you raise here, or do you think that Mike just has nothing? I mean, the 4 could be a scary card, possibly.
Yeah, he's only got top pair with a king kicker.
Yeah.
One pair. Do you really want to raise here? I mean, he's got 2 pair with the 4s.
Because you can open it up, of course, to the re-raise, right?
Exactly. And you never know. I mean, Mike could have got lucky with Jack 8, King Jack.
So let's see what he's going to do here.
I mean, he's definitely going to call at least.
No, he's going to raise it, Dave.
Okay.
Oh, man.
13.
He's going to make it 1,300 more, but Mike just doesn't have anything. But the problem here, though, is, if Mike comes back over the top, I think Jason would call anyways, but this is the problem sometimes with raising with kind of mediocre holdings on the river.
Hey, the only way Mike possibly wins this hand, I mean, maybe if Mike moves all in for another 4,000, but I don't even know if Jason lets it go then.
Well, the pot's $3,000, and it's $1,600 for Mike to call.
And you are looking at the cards correctly there. Mike only has ace deuce.
But I think you got a better kicker.
And Mike says, I got you on ace high, but I think you have a better kicker. Yeah, the only move that Mike can really make here is a re-raise all in.
Well, he can't make any move now that he just announced his hand.
Yeah.
Just told him what he had.
So Jason, a very, very smart action player.
Well, if you put him on a better kicker, maybe the hand doesn't play. I mean, because think about it. He has aces. He has 4s with ace, queen, 10.
Yeah, but do you want to call off $1,600 to chop off a $1,500 main pot? We saw that last night, and a guy got killed. When
Like I've said time and time again, the last thing I ever want to do is try to get inside Mike's head. I actually asked George and Hoff who they least like to play against, and they actually said Mike was one of the players they least like to play against because they never know where he's at. He's somewhat dangerous.
And he's going to make the call, Dave, with ace deuce, hoping to chop the pot. And Jason's going to take it down there with king queen, a $4,500 pot to open up the night. Wow. And if people could see the look on your face, Dave, over here,
wow,
it's priceless.
I I understand what Mike's doing betting on the flop. I mean, betting on the turn.
Right.
Jason induced a bluff. Then he follows through. Now Jason raises.
Yeah.
And if you put the guy on ace high, the problem is you got to start thinking of hands you can beat. And you go, okay, well, I can't beat king jack. If he has king high, he's probably going to beat because he has king jack, king queen, king 10, king 9. All those are pairs.
Right.
So then you go, okay, maybe queen high. Well, that's no good. So what do you think this guy's betting with? What is he raising with? Completely nothing? I mean, what is he raising with? 9 high? I mean, 8 high? Sorry.
You look pretty intense about that hand, Dave.
Well, I mean, I think if Mike starts replaying the hand in his head and he starts thinking of possible hands, now then again, Jason could theoretically have 5-4. I mean, 5-3.
140.
Now we had a straddle here by Jason, and actually, he didn't. I guess he didn't straddle, so he's just going to raise it up here with king 7 of spades. To
I mean, you remember the hand before, Jason did have 8 high. 8 deuce, that was, so.
$140 raise, and look at the holdings that everyone's going to come in here. I mean, we are playing kind of short, and we're going to see.
Well, Barry's got nuts there. Ace 10, huh?
Three-way action, Dave. It's about a $430 pot. Here we go. 6-7 queen. Well, Jason's hit a pair, and it looks like it's the best hand. The only thing about Mike there is he was only hoping for a chop, Dave.
Well, unless you put Jason on a complete bluff, which is not out of the question. If you play against Jason, he does that.
Jason's bet 320 here. And he has the best hand. Track's not going to get
He's going to take this down. I don't think Barry's going to call. It's just one overcard to queen.
Nope. And there it is. Jason takes it down. Of course, if you want to follow a live thread that is started on the internet, You can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums. Go to Texas Hold'em area, pot limit and no limit Hold'em, mid to high stakes.
We're in a new section?
That's right.
Wow.
Got a live shot.
And you can also email us at live@thebike.com. We appreciate your questions, comments, and suggestions.
Well, we have the first bluff of the night so far, huh? With the 8 deuce of clubs.
Yep.
Jason had that 8. We do need your help in voting for the big bluff of the night.
Yep.
So please email us at live@thebike.com with who you think should win the tickets tonight.
Yeah. We have a live straddle here by Jason, and Mike has raced to 180 with pocket jacks. And look at this. Win there in C2. He's in there with pocket 8s. And actually, Win was the razor, Dave, and Mike smooth called with jacks, so he's playing a trap. He's in the small blind.
Yeah, but how do you know now? How do you know where you're at now?
Yeah. And Win's, let's see here. Win, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is going to bet. And Mike's going to, he's going to call. And he says he's going to check in the dark, and the pot is quickly about $1,200. Mike's got the best hand. Turns a 4. And let's see if seat 2 feels like he can pull the trigger again. No, he checks it, Dave. And the river's a 6. Check. And Mike's going to take it down there with jacks. There it is.
Jacks up.
I think every single pot, Dave, has the the potential to be over. Average pot, we're looking at $1,000 tonight.
Well, that's a scary thing
Yeah.
about playing against guys like Mike, playing
Yeah.
against like Action Joe and Jason. You're never really on like safe ground.
Yeah.
Every single time you play a pot with these guys, it could be for all your chips, and you have to know that.
Look at this. Mo is coming back in the game. Looks like he's doing a short buy there. $1,000?
Yeah, and he's in seat 4 there.
Well, not a short buy, but the minimum buy. Excuse me.
Well, he might be trying to, if he can kind of play for all his chips.
And we'll get a chip count up here when we can, and there seems like there's a lot of chips on the table.
When you don't have that many chips in your stack, it kind of takes the aggressive play out of Jason and Mike's hand because how can they really bluff you off when you're in for $400 or $500 already?
Mike's going to raise here from the button to 80. He's got King 9 offsuit. Jason's got Ace 7 offsuit in the blind. He's going to make the call. And Trackwind's got a King 10. He's going to make the call.
Well, Jason's in the lead by a lot here, especially with Track and Mike sharing kings.
3 players.
Here we go. But a $270 pot. 10-8-6. Well, Track's got top pair. Let's see what Track's going to do here.
And Jason and Mike have both picked up gut shots.
Track's going to bet here. Looks like 350, and he's going to take it down. Well, it's interesting, if you ever pick up pair against these two guys, Jason and Mike, do you just check raise all the time? Because if you check, they're going to bet. And Track just bet there, and
It's
Mike,
worth a shot.
Yeah. Although, he could have given away a free card if Mike hadn't bet.
I mean, the thing is, Jason is not just blindly aggressive, He's pretty cagey, He does know how to play the game.
Right. Button is moved over here.
So I hear we might be getting a 2+2 favorite to the Bicycle Casino to play in a game, huh?
That's right, on Thursday.
$70.
Who are we getting?
Baron Vangor Toth. He says he wants to play in the game.
Super.
Now we get a raise here by Mike. King Jack offsuit. And we got suited connector in there, and Juan there, and seat 2 is in there. So again, about a $250 pot. Here we go to the flop. Deuce 3-5 with a couple of spades.
Yeah, it hit nobody here. Track's got a gut shot.
He's going to bet it. You wonder how long Mike's going to stand for this with overcards. He could really put in a raise.
This is one that he might take one off on, we'll see.
Well, he's got 2 red cards, Steve. And he's going to raise.
Raise.
Yeah, he doesn't buy this from Track.
He's going to make it 350 to go.
230 more.
And Track calls. So let's see if Track uses a spade as a scare card too, Dave. Pot's about 950 right now, and here we go to the turn.
Problem is the Track's out of position.
Turns an 8. Track's picked up a diamond draw. Now he's open-ended.
Yeah, a 9 or a 4 or a diamond would give Track the best hand.
Let's see if Mike bets if Track puts a big check raise in here. Mike's going to bet
530.
530.
And obviously a 7 or a 6 would also give Track the best hand. I'm not sure if he'd pay him off with a 7 or 6, but he might.
Well, let's see what Track does here. Dave, I want to say the pot is about $1,400.
Now this hand might be strong enough to check raise here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but he's just going to make the call.
If you think Mike's got nothing.
Yeah. And Track's going to have to make a move because Mike could still only have king high. We're getting about a $2,000 pot here going in the river.
Yeah, 9, a 4, a diamond, a 6 or a 7 Track needs.
And let's see the river. And the river's a 6, and his pair is good.
Yep, he's backed into a pair, and that's going to be good.
And now it's kind of a scary board. Anyone with a 4 would have a straight. And Track bet in, so, you know, maybe.
I check.
Oh, and Mike's going to give up. And Track's going to take it down there with 6-7. Mike said, I only have a 6, but he doesn't have a 6. And he folds.
Yeah, because obviously, if he had a 6, his kicker would play.
Right.
There's no kicker you could possibly have lower than a 7 that wouldn't play.
And Track takes down about a $2,000 pot. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Dave. I got to think that these average pot size are just going to be, it's going to be incredible.
We're getting off that one, huh?
I mean, this might be the biggest game, you know, by each individual pot that we've ever seen on Live at the Bike.
Oh, yeah, we've got some
Yeah.
action players on this
Yeah.
game. Now, the one thing about Mike that's kind of scary is, you know, I mean, if you were playing in a game, would you rather play against a guy like Mike, who doesn't care about money, he's very aggressive, you never know where he's at?
Yeah.
Or would you rather play against a guy like George Georgian, who, yeah, he's solid, and you might not win a lot of money off him, but he doesn't scare me.
Pot's been limped around here. Oh, that's going to be one of the few times, Dave. Three-way action. Mo has got Queen Jack. Ace 6-4 here on the flop. No one really has anything. Everybody checks it. Turns another 4, and Barry's picked up a flush draw.
Put it.
Can you put a bet in here now?
Put her on
Well, anybody
zero.
can put a bet in here.
Bluff it, Mo.
No. And everybody checks again. And the river's a club. But look at that. The board's double paired.
Yeah, but nobody, it's very obvious nobody has an ace here. It's
Right.
pretty obvious nobody's got a 4 here.
Right.
And Mo doesn't bet it because he thinks his queen high might be good. He's got the second nut, no pair there.
Barry's going to take it down there with the 10 high flush. Or an ace high flush with a 10.
Right, exactly.
I know. 10 too. I wasn't
Ace
even
10,
really
6,
trying
4,
to
deuce.
think about it.
Tim, can I get a
All
border
clubs.
back here or a service or something like
You know,
that?
you always seem like you're kind of busy. But it's just like a couple minutes leading up to the show.
I don't know, I'm a busy guy. You know. Mover, I'm a
Nice
shaker.
shot of it, fellas.
Well, actually, you know, before our show, obviously, we look to see the player log to see who's playing in the game, how many chips they might have.
Yeah.
We get our waters in shape here. Look at our prizes. Tonight is bluff night, folks, so please help us out. I've only really seen 2 bluffs. One worked, one didn't work. I want to give much more credence to bluffs that work.
240.
'Cause, I mean,
Well, we're going to see this a lot, Dave. Corporation Mike is straddled, and he's going to raise out of the straddle spot. He makes it 240 to go. He's got Jack 10 of spades. Barry has him dominated, and Joe's got a suited connector. Are these the types of candings?
it's always nice there. Thank you, Barry. Bring your kids. Family show. This is wonderful.
Well, Barry calls and Joe calls. These are the types they hand. Yeah, we'll get to this after they hand. What I was going to say here. Here we go with the flop. And Mike's flopped the flush draw.
Well, he's flopped a gut shot straight draw as well. It's a nice flop for him.
Pot's about $700.
Now, Barry also has a gut shot straight draw. And Joe has the best hand with a pair of 6s.
Barry's going to bet. He bet 700.
Insta call.
Now, this is the kind of hand that Mike can raise on. He's got such a
he
huge
just
draw.
called. He just called. And
Any-
Barry's drawing really slim here.
Any king and any spade, and he wins his pot.
Barry's drawing really slim, but although he has the best hand right now.
Well, now that Joe's folded, yeah.
And the pot's about $2,000 again. Turns a 10, and there it is for Barry Woods. And now Mike's got a flush draw and a pair.
Yeah, he's got the same straight draw still.
What a turn card for Barry Woods. It's a $2,000 pot. And he's cutting out the white chips.
Well, at this point, he almost hopes that Mike has got, an ace.
Yeah. Dave, the red chips in this game, the brown chips are $10 chips. The white chips are $100 chips. Blues are $1 chips, and yellows are 5s.
That's 1,000. That's not that much into about a $2,000 pot.
And Mike quickly calls.
Well, now he's saying it's 1,000 into a $3,000 pot.
We got a $4,000 pot brewing, and the river's an ace, and it pairs the board.
I got to tell you, I like the bet here by Barry. He's going to bet.
Looks like 2,000.
I like it. You're almost hoping that Mike has an ace. And you don't put Mike, I just don't put Mike on the 2 pair there.
And Mike folds. Well, the funny thing is that if a spade came, would Barry be able to get away from it, Dave? The spade came there on the river.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Barry takes down about a $4,000 pot there. Wow. Incredible action here.
Yeah, and Mike has been in the short end of the stick so far.
Well, I thought that Jesus was coming into the game, but I guess he's still over in Mexican poker right now.
They'll have to lure him over with a 6-pack of Corona.
Yeah.
Some nice action, though, considering it's a short game. These guys are really mixing it up. Sometimes in this short game, when you get guys like Mike and Jason and Joe, you really get some action players in there. Now, Action Joe win in seat 5. You're not going to see nearly as much action around with him in the game because Jason and Mike are in the game. And he'll adjust his play.
Pot's limped around here. Queen 6-7, and looks like Mo has flopped, or excuse me, Mike. He's got top and bottom. And look at this. Seat 2's got an open-ended straight draw. And everybody's going to check. So Mike's playing this one slow, Dave. I'm not sure about that. The turn's a 10. And now Mike's going to bet.
70.
He's going to bet 70.
Now, at this point, do you have anything to call with Wani? And he does not.
No.
If I don't win in 1 hour,
So the button's going to move over here to seat 2.
until 1 hour,
And again, Dave, you know, that's the type of thing where if an 8 had peeled off on the turn, I think all of Mike's money would have gone away.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You know?
obviously, Juan in seat 2 is not that deep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think he probably would have doubled up. And that's what Mo's looking to do. Mo's looking to, kind of pick off Jason or Mike and double up once or twice.
Wow, we got pocket aces here for Jason in seat 7.
100.
And he's gonna raise here to 100.
100.
And he's not gonna get any action.
Now, you'd think that the way Jason raises every other hand, you'd think that he gets an action on his aces, but in that case, no.
you got 3-8, King 4. Wow.
Well, the thing is that a couple of hands ago, I was wondering if Joe Wynn was going to make that call with 6-7 of clubs. I mean, that's the type of hand where you've got a lot of implied odds. But as we've always pointed out in the past against Mike, he's not coming in necessarily with aces with his raise.
Right.
So it's a great implied odds hand, but you're not necessarily going to break him because when you pick up ace 6-7,
Right. Clearly, if a player is very predictable, like a player Tony,
right,
who's one of the props here, is very predictable. If he raises up to $60 or $70, you might want to call him with 6-7 of clubs because you could break him.
Yeah.
But like you said, Mike could have anything. He could have 6-7 of diamonds for all you know.
4-way action, limped around. King 5-5.
Well, Mike's
here.
picked up trip 5s.
Unbelievable.
See if he slow plays it.
If he bets his good hands and his bad hands, I mean, sometimes he likes to trap a lot. Look at this, it's a spade. Mo's picked up the nut flush draw.
Well, no.
Track's got a pair, and Mo's going to bet.
What can I tell you? All I do is get
Mo
50
bets
draws
100.
and close your hands.
Now, Mike's going to probably come over the top. Yeah, he
He's
does.
going to bet 300.
third,
And Mo's going to push all in. And Mike's not getting away from this one.
Well, why would he?
Trying to get it back.
Mike's slow playing. He's trapped. He's trapped Mo.
And he's going to make the call. And this is unbelievable.
And Mo needs a spade and only a spade.
I think they're going to run it a couple of times here, Dave.
Just the river, correct?
That's long.
Yep. How many times are they going to run it here? That's one.
Probably 3 times, I assume, but we'll see.
There's a spade for Mo. And that's it. They
They
just
run
ran
it
it
twice.
So they're going to chop it in half. So, Dave, explain to us what just happened there.
Well, a lot of times what players like to do is, if it gets to be a big pot, to kind of decrease variance and to keep the game going so somebody doesn't get broke, what they'll do is they'll run it more than once, basically hedging their bet. And what happens in that case, they ran it twice. So basically half the pot goes on the first one, and then half the pot goes on the second one. And obviously if you run it 3 times, the pot would be split into thirds.
Right.
In that case, obviously Mike won the first one and lost the second one. I'm kind of surprised Mike didn't run it 3 times. I'm not a big fan of running something twice.
Really?
Especially if I'm a favorite, I want to run it 3 times because the likelihood is I'm going to win 2 out of 3. I mean, the likelihood's same odds. I understand that.
Right.
To be honest with you, I don't really understand why. In that case, the pot's not big enough. Why am I running it twice at all?
Yep.
Mike was running bad. I mean, he's had a bad. What are we on there? We're on about 20 minutes right now. Maybe he just, felt unlucky.
Right. 3-way action here.
4s for Jason.
Limped around. 8-5 deuce.
Well, 4s are still good.
We get a bet here by Jason with the 4s. And Barry's going to call.
Well, he's got backdoor heart draw.
Backdoor straight draw and an overcard.
Yeah, he's actually got 2 overcards to the 4s, but how does he know?
Yeah. Turns a deuce. He's picked up the hearts, Dave. Jason's going to bet again. And let's see if Barry raises with the draw. Nope. Jason's going to check.
Does Barry take the free card? Or
He does.
Okay.
He's going to take the free card. And the river's a heart, and he's made the backdoor hearts.
And the problem with this is, oftentimes, like you say, you're going for a kind of a long shot. The problem is that Jason doesn't really have much money invested in this. He doesn't have a very big hand. And he's not even going to pay him off.
Yep, Barry bets $250 here at the end, and Jason does not call.
Right. But it's one of those things, I don't mind going for long shot draws if I know that there's a huge amount of implied odds.
Yep.
But you don't even know Jason could be bluffing there. He could have absolutely nothing.
So the button's going to move over to Action Joe, and we haven't really seen him play at all tonight. And again, we've seen Track win on the show before, Dave. Let's see how he adjusts to this extremely loose, aggressive table. We're getting word, Dave, that seat number 2's name is Hun. So we apologize for butchering that a little earlier on.
Oh, okay,
Hun.
Hun.
Like Attila the Hun.
Oh, that's a nice. We didn't butcher his name enough, now you call him Attila the Hun?
Oh, Attila the Hun was a great warrior. What are you talking about? Didn't he take over the Romans? I don't know. I get all mixed up with that barbarian stuff that's on the Discovery Channel.
I'm sure we'll hear about it right now.
4, 5, 7. I think that was Hannibal the Gaul. Or was Hannibal a Gaul? I don't know. Anyways.
Well, Barry's picked up an open-ended straight draw. He also has the best hand.
Yep. And Barry's going to bet 130. And this, look at the small cards. Kind of the flop coordinates with everyone's hand here. Mo's going to call. He's open-ended, but, if a 6 comes, anyone with an 8, Dave, would have a higher straight. And here we go to the turn. And the turn's a 5.
No, interesting. Jason actually had 3-5, and he got rid of his hand. And Barry's hand is still the best hand here.
And he's going to bet again.
And I like the bet here. It's just too easy for Mo to have a draw.
Yep, and he's going to bet 240, and he's going to take
And am I
it
getting
down.
this correctly that Kev Math is actually going to... He got a job? And he's not going to be doing the live thread, not starting the live thread anymore?
Towards the end of the year, that's what we just read here. Again,
Well,
we're reading
congratulations for getting a job.
We're reading a thread that started on 2plus2.com forums. Texas Hold'em, mid and high stakes, no limit and pot limit section. Official Live the Bike thread for November 11th. You can also email us at live@thebike.com.
Why would anybody go out and get a job? Man.
And looks like Jason's got big slick offsuit on the button.
70.
And he's going to make it 70 to go. And Trackwind's going to call with 4-5 off. So we got about a $150 pot going. Heads up. Queen 7-7.
This is another guy where if you call his raises, he could be raising you with 6-4.
Jason's going to bet, and Track is not going to get involved. Now, it's interesting. Joe Wynn's moving from seat 5 to seat 6. Normally, when you move at a table, especially at a loose table, your moves are strategic. But if you look at this, Dave, there's no one sitting in between. So I wouldn't really call it strategic. Moving
No,
from
yeah.
the next seat to the next empty seat over to the left.
Yeah, that obviously doesn't change anything. Wow. And this is a nice little mixture to the game. We get Tommy Hufnagel,
Wow.
who World Series of Poker bracelet winner in 1998. And I'm always interested in seeing, he's a top-notch pro. I mean, he's played with some
Here's
of the
the
best.
bracelet.
Doyle Brunson,
Yeah.
Puggy Pearson. He's played with all of them, okay? I'm curious how he plays.
Stewie Unger.
He's probably played with them. I'm
Yeah.
almost 100% sure.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he plays against guys like Jason and Mike.
Now, he's bought in for 2,000. Jason's going to bring this one in for 80 with pocket sixes. Tommy's going to call here with a gap-suited connector. 8-10 of clubs. Barry's got an ace-9 of spades. He's going to come in and look at Corporation Mike. Jack-4 of diamonds. He's in there. Mike loves those suited cards, Dave.
They got 4 players.
Four-way action.
You're 40% of the way to a flush already. Come on.
King, 6, ace, couple clubs. So Barry has top pair here. But look at Tommy. He's got a flush draw.
Jason's got a set of sixes.
And wow, yeah, pre-flop razor. And he checked it. Jason checked his set, and now Tommy's going to bet. Sometimes I don't understand why, if they're betting their good and their bad hands, why would they check it?
Yeah.
And Tommy bet 100, and Barry raised it to 240. And let's see how Jason's going to play it now.
I mean, and Jason's also one off the cutoff seat here. How do you know Tommy's going to bet that?
And he's going to check re-raise. He's going to make it 640 to go now with the set of sixes. And oh boy, Barry Woods with top pair. What's going to happen here, Dave? Oh wow, he's going to make the call.
Now this is one of those cases where if you're playing against Jason, though, it's real strength there. Tommy's bet, you've raised, and now he's re-raised after checking the flop.
$1,500 pot turns a 4.
Oh wow, and that's a 4 of clubs. Tommy would have gotten there with the club draw. Tommy would have made his flush.
So if Tommy had taken the card, Barry checks.
If he took the free card, he would have gotten there, and who knows what would have happened there.
And Barry is now drawing dead. There's no way he can win this hand. Pot's $1,500,
And the club might have saved Barry.
and Jason's going to bet 800 now.
I mean, how does Jason know that Tommy's going to bet that?
Yeah, I don't really understand the move. I mean, the tightest player on the table, he is familiar with him.
I mean, unless you think, well, the guy called my raise, he must have an ace.
Well,
Barry, I think Barry's going to lay this down.
Want me to call?
he's showing the ace. He said, do you want me to call? And he is going to lay it down.
I want you to raise. Wow, that's what I would have done. I would have called.
Jason wins there. And Tommy's probably hitting himself because he could have won a big pot had he taken that free card.
Well, could Jason have gotten away from it if Tommy showed a lot of strength with 3 clubs out there?
Well, I mean, Jason does know how to play. I mean, he's not going to be oblivious to the fact there's a flush on the board.
We're going to look at our first chip count. So it looks like Barry has the most chips on the table, about 9,400. Jason's got 9,000. Corporation Mike, 5,500. And Tommy just bought in for 2,000. And again, Mo is right around the minimum.
Yeah. And Tommy's kind of playing that, he's buying in small, kind of, not going to cost himself too much, see where he can get it.
Now, Tommy raised here to 90 with what looks like King 10 suited. Trackwind's going to call with King 9 suited.
290.
Barry Woods is going to re-raise with Ace King suited from the button.
Yeah.
So 3 of the kings are dead, and Tommy quickly folds. I guess it was King 9.
Tommy, how are you, buddy? Good, Mike. How are you?
And Track has got King 9.
Well, Tommy is a cagey pro. I mean, he's going to adjust his game to this game, which is what I was curious. I really wanted to see how he adjusted.
Looks like he's going to make the call here. And we've got about a $700 pot here going heads up.
And Track's in bad shape.
4-7-10. What a flop for Barry Woods. Overcards and the nut flush draw.
And Track is in really bad shape now. Because now he's basically drawing, he needs a 9 that's not a spade. So he basically has 2 outs. He needs a red 9.
And it got checked to Barry, and he's going to bet. And Track is going to let it go.
And Tommy actually had King 10. He would have gotten top pair there.
King 9, I think he had, actually. I said
No.
King 10, but...
Oh, they both had King 9?
Yeah, they both had King 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes even only one out then.
Right.
Wow.
button's going to move over here. Seat number 3.
Like I said, we do have a big board for this game, so we will fill it up soon. We're just kind of holding out hope that we might get some of the players we want.
Right,
in the game.
Jesus. Limp, limp, limp.
I don't think anybody has any raising hands here.
Well, seat 8, Tommy's got ace-queen offsuit.
Right, but he limped in an early position.
Yeah.
Kind of middle position, actually.
We've got multi-way action. Deuce 4-7 with a couple of clubs. Looks like Jason's got a flush draw, and he's going to bet right into it. With
Track is
overcards.
open-ended. He's got 5-6 of spades. And Hun there, he's got the gut shot.
Well, Track has called the 80. Hun is not going to chase. And Mike's got top pair, and he's going to raise. He's going to make it 350 to go. And let's see what Jason does with the flush draw now.
Well, like, Tommy likes to throw... Oh, wow.
Folds.
He threw the flush draw away.
But Track's going to call. So let's see if Drac might be able to represent clubs here. And here we go to the turn. And the turn's at 10.
500.
Track checks, and Mike's going to bet 500. Pot's now about, I want to say, $1,500. And Track is going to continue to chase this, Dave.
Wow.
I guess he's going to have to represent a club here at the end. $2,000 now in the pot. Well, here we go. Let's see it. And the river's a 7, and Mike's made trips, and he's not going anywhere, Dave.
Well, you can't. There's nothing to represent there. I mean, if you're tracked, you can't bet that river. What are you going to represent, the 7?
Yeah. Mike bets 900 on the river.
It's hard to bluff into a hand when
When it's top pair that pairs at the end.
right, because you're
Yeah.
bluffing into somebody. You might be representing what they actually have.
Right.
Puts you in a tough spot.
You did that last time. You got lucky on the river, man.
Seen a couple of players there have no problem throwing away flush draws on the flop.
You got a 6 on the
Well, sometimes it kind of mesmerizes me the way that Mike and Jason play, because they will trap sometimes. I guess if you mix your play up, I mean, that's the best way. I sometimes find myself playing it, that I play it so hard, pretty much, with my good hands or with a hand that I'm going to try to make a couple bluffs at, that when I check, well, people know probably I don't have anything because I would have bet,
Right.
you know.
I mean, you've got to once in a while
Right.
you got to once in a while throw in that check raise, because if I was playing with you and I know you bet every single time you make a hand or you
Right.
bluff, well, every time you check to me, I'll always bet 'cause
Right.
take the pot down.
Right. King 8, queen here with a couple of spades. Track's got top pair. Mike's got second pair. And if it gets checked to Mike, I wouldn't be surprised if he bets here, and he's going to bet.
Well, I mean, that's a betting spot. I mean, he's one before the button. He's in position. He's got second pair.
He bets 80, and how does King 3, a red King 3, look with this flop? But, I mean, Mike, he could be betting with anything. And Track looks like he is going to check raise, Dave, with top pair. Hunt is out of there with pocket 6s. Mike gets away from him. And again, these guys are pretty loose aggressive, but they're not stupid. That's
No,
for sure.
that's what I'm saying. These players are good players.
Yeah. Definitely not stupid.
I play like you, I play.
I mean, a lot of people sit there at home and they watch these guys and they go, "Oh, come on, they got no hands. They're in there." But it's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot easier, like sitting on our side of the booth or being home watching, because you know
Right.
what their cards are. But if you're at that table and you got $6,000-$7,000, you know, and Mike goes, "Okay, I raise you $1,500,"
Right.
you know, and you're looking at the board and you've got like second pair, you know, you kind of start thinking, is this the time that he really has it?
Limp, limp, limp. And everyone's
Button
gonna
is in
work here.
seat 6. That's Joe Wynn. And
Six-way action, $120 pot. Jack 8-9 with a couple of diamonds. Looks like seat 8's got ace-10, Tommy Huffnagel. But he checked it, Dave.
now he's got the ace of diamonds also. And
Well,
Barry's got top pair.
And Barry's going to bet 100. He's got the king of diamonds.
Now, $100, you take one off your Tommy. Now, once again, this is one of those. It's a one-liner if your straight comes.
He did call. The turn's a deuce.
That's such a beautiful card. If you're Barry there, that's got to be a great card to have.
Yep, and he bets 300, and he's going to take it down. You know, Dave, I was telling you, sometimes you can make pre-flop errors that end up costing a lot of money. No limit. I actually got a chance to play the 300-500 game this afternoon, something that we don't usually get a chance to do. And I was killing game. I was up $600 or $700, and the pot was straddled, and a guy came in from a raise in middle position for $45, and he had me covered. And I was in the cutoff -1 spot, and I had 4-6 of hearts. And I wasn't really paying attention, and I didn't call. A couple people called. Flop came out deuce 3-5 with 2 hearts. I had the 4-6 of hearts. He had pocket aces with the ace of hearts. The turn was a heart. No matter how I played it, he wasn't going anywhere, and I would have had all his money.
Right, obviously. But
Yeah.
you can't beat yourself up on that one. Because,
yeah.
I mean, you could sit there with every card you throw away. Like,
I
I
know.
throw away 8-3, and I
Right.
look down and go,
Well,
the flop's
yeah.
3-3-8. You
That's
go,
a
"Ah."
little different, though, because 4-6 of hearts is definitely something that you might want to call with.
Right. Well, if you know, I mean, this player, if you can, like, once again, if
Yeah.
you don't want to call Mike's raises with 4-6, do you?
I haven't yet to figure out Mike.
No, that's what's scary about it.
5-way action limped around here. Jack deuce 4 with a couple of clubs.
Now, Hun has top pair here with King Jack.
And look at this. Mike's got a set of 4s, and Barry has a flush draw. Hun's going to bet in there. He's going to bet 130. Let's see what Mike does. See, Mike just smooth calls there with 2 clubs.
I mean, if you're playing against a guy like Mike or Jason, and they've been showing a propensity to slow play their big hands.
Yeah. Barry
You
calls.
know-
I got to say, if we see a club here, he could have all of Mike's money. Oh, the turn's a jack. Oh, boy. I think Hun's going down on this one, Dave.
Oh, poor Hun.
Not Attila this time. And he's going to bet. He's going to bet 400 here.
Now, he has outs. He has outs.
And Mike just calls again. And now does Barry want
Well,
to chase here?
Now you
with
want to
the-
leave a full house in there.
Yeah, with the
I mean, you
paired
want to
board.
leave a flush
Yeah.
draw.
Barry's going to get out.
Now, Hun's going to need a king,
Yeah. It looks
a
like he
king,
might
a
only...
jack, or a deuce.
Looks like he only has about 400 more. And the river's a 6. Barry would have made the flush, but... And Hun's going to bet the rest. And Mike is going to take down about another, maybe $2,300 to $2,500 pot. And oh, was Barry lucky that he folded the turn. Wow. Look, did you see that look that he just gave? Wow. That's a big gasp of relief there.
And I think the reason he threw it away was not because of Mike as much as Hun there. Hun bet the jack, and then another jack came out, and
Yeah.
he goes, you know what? This guy's definitely got 3 jacks. I might be, I might get there, and it still might not be good.
Or might be slow playing and might pop me a lot here. Oh, well, actually, Mike called again. Excuse me, Mike called again. In between.
Right.
You're right.
But if you put a guy on 3 jacks already, do you really want to
Yeah.
call for a flush draw?
Because one of your outs, might not be good.
Exactly.
And as it happened, Barry was drawing dead on the turn. Wow.
Button is in seat 9. That's track win.
And did he just limp on the button? He just limped. Barry limped with ace deuce, and Mike's got queen deuce. We got 3 deuces in the hand. Well, ace 6-5.
Well, not
Barry's got-
surprisingly, not a deuce game.
Barry checks it, and you got to think that Barry's probably thinks he has the best hand right now. Turns a jack. Barry's going to bet.
Yeah, Mike is out, and obviously I think track is going to throw away his gut shot straight draw. Mike takes it down. So are you a basketball fan?
I am. Well, not so much NBA. I,
do
love
you like,
college basketball.
Yeah, me too. Do you like the Clippers, though? Have you kind of taken them over? Rooting
Well,
for them?
again,
Lakers?
I'm not just a huge NBA fan at all. I just find that the NBA regular season is quite boring, and it really doesn't mean anything. I just think that the professional sports day really should take and take a look at how the NFL does their playoffs. Possibly like making buys with the best records, not having over 50% of the teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, no. Well, hockey and the NBA obviously have a huge problem
Yeah.
because their regular season is means nothing.
3-way action here, limped around. Jack 7-4. Mike's gonna bet.
He's got the best hand.
He bets 60.
But I mean, you wonder though. See, if Mike wants to, I mean, at this point here, you're watching Mike for the last half hour, right? He checked when he made 2 pair. He only smooth called when he got a set. What would you put him on here? Maybe ace 4 or nothing, right?
He could bet out on top pair, possibly.
No, I have no doubt he could, but I mean, you're pretty sure he doesn't have Jack 4, Jack 7, or a set.
Right.
Now, Mike does mix up his game, so. Got an interesting email here from Cameron Schneider. Hi, guys. Great show last night. That was a wild game. That was a wild game. It was crazy.
Why, didn't they take the
No,
balloon?
I didn't have it out there yet.
Good, man.
Looks like Mo's eating a little filet mignon over there.
Yeah, that's the one she told me to lock up.
Does Barry Woods, does he have a gin and tonic there?
Who's sitting here? Oh, Tommy put it?
Wow, look at that, Dave. Whew. Medium rare, huh? Good old medium rare.
I like it bloody.
Yeah, I mean, how can someone have like a good sirloin, good steak, or a good fillet and get it well done? It just...
And my wife likes it if she's got. Well, actually, she doesn't really eat steak, but if she gets like lamb chops or something, she likes them like burned to a crisp. I mean, like leather.
My list of playable starting hands.
3 players.
I'm willing to, I'm willing.
Me too. I want my beef to walk in.
Limped around here. Queen 7-5 with a couple of hearts.
Get a few chips in. Shut up. Me.
Everybody's going to check. The turn is a jack.
Well, pick that. Mo's got the best hand now.
Barry's going to bet here with ace high. And Mo's going to call. And the river's a 3.
Check.
Check, check. And Mo's going to take it down there with the jack.
Perry kind of hopeless. Do you have a pair? Don't you like that when somebody says that to you?
Yeah.
And you do have a pair, that is?
Good hand, Mo.
You know, it's rare that you can even get, it's rare that you can get a rare steak at a restaurant. Or a medium rare steak. I mean, some
Well, you can get it.
health
At a,
concerns,
you can
know?
get it at a restaurant. You know, a real steakhouse. You can get it.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get like anything that's less than medium rare, and that's even on the cusp. of,
Really, at a real restaurant?
yeah.
A real, like, I mean, like a good steak. I mean,
Health
I used to go to a
concerns, Dave.
great.
The FDA, man, they're coming down on everyone.
Yeah, there's a great restaurant, a great steakhouse that I used to hit in Brooklyn, called Peter Luger Steakhouse.
Yeah.
You can actually buy the Peter Luger Steakhouse sauce
120.
in local Gelson's in L.A. and stuff. But that is the best steak, and you can get that bloody.
Now, Corporation Mike, he's going to raise. He's got Jack 10 off suit. He's made it 120 to go.
Jack of clubs, 10 of spades.
This guy's calling.
Actually, it's Jack of clubs, 9 of spades.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Actually, I don't. Yeah, it is Jack 9. Okay. Track's got Jack 3. So Mike is open-ended.
330.
Either way, he's got track dominated.
Oh.
Yep. And he's going to take it down with a bet. Got a new player coming into seat 2, Dave, momentarily.
Interesting post from Baron Banger Toth. Talk, the money shouldn't really be a factor if you're playing within your means. Of course it shouldn't be, but in the end, it often is. You know? You know, I mean, for anybody that plays poker and plays poker for money, if you're sitting at a table and it's kind of a tough call and the guy bets, you know, and the guy bets $10 into a $15 pot, okay, $10. I know it shouldn't make a difference, but if the same guy bets $10,000 into a $15,000 pot, well, hey, you know, it might be tougher to make that call.
Mo's raised here with ace jack of hearts, and he's going to take it down without a flop. He raised to 200. Pretty big raise, 10 times the big blind.
200, someone raised it all in. Go ahead.
Well, he's pretty much, I mean, Mo is pretty much gearing himself up for one hand. You know, he's almost playing it like a tournament.
Right.
Where he's short-stacked.
Now you probably have $10,000.
I'm surprised. I mean, the only thing I understand playing it short and trying to double up and get lucky and then start really playing poker. But in a game like this, why does Mo want to take all of his...
Play out of it, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously he knows how to play post-flop, but being so short, he takes it away from himself.
Barry's got pocket 10s under the gun. Looks like he's going to raise.
60.
He's going to make it 60. Mike calls. Two people have 8-9. Mike calls with Jack 10, so two people having 8-9 kind of hurts his hand a little bit, Dave, with those straight
There's
possibilities.
also a 9 in seat 9. 9-4 for track.
Jason's going to call with 8-9. And Track's going to call with 9-4 offsuit. Wow. Here we go.
I mean, almost all the 10s and all the 9s are dead.
Deuce 3-6, all spades. Mike has got the jack of spades.
Nice flop for Barry there. He's got an over pair, plus he's got 10 of spades in his hand, just in case. He's going to take it down.
$200 bet. Everyone folds. Action's back over to track. Oh, wait a minute. Wait 1 second. Here.
Okay.
There we go. He's going to fold.
Damn, I had a spade too. No way, how big that is that? Oh man, I had a spade on
But it's interesting, people can always, obviously when you talk about poker and you debate and you throw out arguments there, what is the ideal and what you can actually get yourself to do can be different things sometimes.
Yeah.
You can often go, this was the best play, but maybe you just didn't have the heart and you couldn't put yourself to do it.
Yep.
Live shot.
So again, this is bluff night, Dave. We haven't really seen any big bluffs so far.
No,
I
it's just everybody's in with crap and
Right.
see what happens.
You got a straddle here by Corporation Mike, 6-9 of clubs. And Barry's got ace-queen of spades in the big blind.
Haven't seen much from Action Joe Win, huh?
No?
Does it matter? Does it matter what you
Track's going to call. Look at this. Track's playing any 2 cards, Dave. I mean, he's almost playing loose passive.
Yeah, he is.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
140. 100 to go.
And Barry's going to raise it up with ace-queen of spades to 140. And Mike instantly calls with 6-9 of clubs. And Track's in there, Dave.
And what was the raise?
140.
$140. You have Jack 6. I mean,
3 players.
6-9 of clubs, okay, maybe, but Jack 6?
Well, there's the ace for Barry.
And ace-queen can be tough to play out of position, especially with a guy like Mike behind you, because if you miss your hand, you're first to act. Then what do you do? But in this is pretty easy because Barry's hit his hand.
Yeah, Barry bets 240.
I mean, does Barry bet it, you think, if he doesn't hit his ace?
7, 9 o'clock.
Barry has been pretty consistent with the continuation bets.
He does, okay.
So that's straddle thing. That's working for you?
It's funny, I also got a chance to play with Barry Woods a little bit while he was warming up in the 3-5 game, Dave, today.
Warming up.
Yeah, he was warming up for this game.
You were in the bullpen with him?
Mike, you're not Jewish?
You were his fluffer?
What? What?
He's a Jew wannabe. There'll be a lot of things, but cheap for one.
Button is in seat 9.
Dave,
huh?
I'm not familiar with that terminology.
Well, ask somebody on 2+2. Maybe they'll help you out.
Raise 150.
Track is going to raise it up here on the button.
Only 30 here.
150. He's got a suited ace, ace-7 spades. Barry's got a little suited gap suited connector there. He's out of position.
I'd like to see a flop. 67, they would have called.
And boy, Barry, he's got... I don't know if we can get his...
action.
And look at this. Mike says, I'll give you the action. And he's dominated.
Now, we've seen Track play somewhat loose passive, so let's see if Track can follow up with his ace-7, because he's missed.
And look at this. Mike's hit a pair.
Would've got so close.
Track's going to bet. He's going to bet 200.
All right. I'll give you some more action.
Mike calls.
Set the spiders to the flop.
Pot's about $700 now. Mike checks dark, turns a 10.
And Track's in terrible shape here. He needs an ace and only an ace.
Track's going to take the card, and the river's a jack.
I think I might have rivered you. Check.
Well, Mike's not going to bet.
I mean, look at that board. It's
Yeah.
queen, jack, 10. I mean, what can you beat?
Ace rag that's not paired, and that's what he's got.
I mean, think about it. He can beat ace-9, and obviously lower aces.
Well,
Can't beat ace-king, can't beat ace-queen,
funny
can't
thing
beat
is, don't you think Track should have bet there on the river?
Oh, and then you would have.
I would imagine so.
I mean, that's a perfect card to bet the river with.
You would have took the pot too.
But you know, it's easier for us to say,
Right.
We know what Mike has.
That would have gotten you off that hand. You wouldn't doubt it.
Once again, we are live at the bike, folks.
That would have got you off.
I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hanson. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 10 and 20, and it is bluff night. So please help us out when you see a bluff that you like. Email us at liveatthebike.com and let us know about it.
Pot was limped around here.
5 players.
5-way action. Now, seat number 5 there, Joe Wynn, he's got ace-jack of hearts. So he's got overcards and a flush draw.
I don't know yet because
And that's actually seat 6 there, Joe Wynn. And Mike's bet here with nothing, 80. And let's see what Joe does. She's going to call.
Now, Mike is bet. So you say, okay, he probably doesn't have a 6, right?
Now, wait a minute. Joe is actually raising with the draw here. He's going to make it
All right.
280.
I don't think you got me beat, but I'm not.
And looks like Mike's going to fold. And Jason has left the table for a little bit, Dave. That's why the table's kind of quieted down.
And a shame, I was really excited. Carlos was invited. Anybody that watched last night's game
Yeah.
knows how crazy Carlos was last night.
Yeah.
And we invited him back into the game tonight after he killed the game for probably $10,000 last night. But he won and lost really quick. I mean, he sat down and crapped out right away. Sorry.
Well, it's funny, we were saying we hadn't seen Carlos, and we were kind of impressed by his play in the beginning, and then it kind of turned into a little bit of a...
Well,
I
he
don't
was
know
playing,
what was going on.
He was playing almost any two cards.
Yeah, yeah.
And just the first hour and a half, he was hitting everything. He's in there with King 4, the flop would come out King 4 deuce. And somebody else would have Ace King.
Four-way action here, King 8-6. It was limped around. Wow, Joe's got an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw. He did not bet. Turns a 5. Now he's got a pair with that draw.
But Barry still has the best hand with 10-6.
And now Joe's going to bet.
250?
He's going to bet 250 here.
Now does Barry kind of smell something? Go, wait a second. Maybe my hand's good now. I got a 6.
Well, with one card to come, though, is he still favored with one card to come?
I do not think so. I want to
think
say, let's see.
60-40 for Barry, right?
I'd have to figure out, let's see.
Barry's gonna
Any 7, any 5,
Show the bluff.
any 9, any 4, any diamonds. Add them up.
He said I would have check raised on the flop, but nobody bet. That's what he said. Well, the open-ended straight with the flush draw itself is 15 outs, right?
Right. Now you throw in there another 3 7s
Right.
and 2 6s and 2 5s. So he has 20 outs with one card to
Barry's
go.
probably about 60-40, right? Or maybe high 50s.
Well, there's 44 cards we don't see, right?
Yeah.
Because they have 44 cards we don't know about, 20 of which will help Joe, and 24 of which are good for Barry.
She's real close to it.
You made that sound so easy, Dave.
Why, thank you.
5 players.
Interesting introduction tonight.
Pot is
My friend.
limped around.
Made me feel really special.
Trying to change it up.
Kind of warm inside.
We got a couple people with top pair here, Dave. Queen 5 deuce. It was limped around. Jason's got Queen Jack, and Track has Queen 9.
I think Track might get himself in trouble here.
70?
But look at this. It got checked around, and Mike's going to bet. Excuse me, Barry bets here.
Raise.
And Joe Wint's going to check raise with ace 5, and he might get the queens out of here. This is interesting.
270?
And look at
Barry-
Jason. Jason was probably thinking, wow, I was going to do that.
Barry's bet as a bluff, and Joe is check raised him with ace 5.
And Joe kind of smells it. Joe thinks Barry's full of crap. The problem is he didn't count the players behind him.
Jason's going to call, and now can Track overcall a check raise and a call in the middle. Wow, he's going to make the call, Dave.
Why? The answer is yes.
With Queen 9. Are you kidding?
If you're Barry, how do you like your Jack 6 of spades now?
Wow. Pot's about $800 now. And what does Joe think right now? All these guys called me.
He's thinking, give me a 5.
Well, here we go to the turn. Turn is a 4.
And Track's going to have to get really lucky here. Because he's drawing, he needs a 9 and only a 9, because this is not going to be a chop pot with all those low cards out there.
And Joe checked, and now it's up to Jason. It's an $800 pot.
See, now Joe actually has 5 outs to the river. Actually, I want to say more than that. Joe actually has 9 outs, because any 3 would give him a straight, a 5 would give him trips, and an ace would give him 2 pair. So Joe's got 9 outs. Track only has the 3 9s to help him out.
I put you on 9.
And the rest of the deck is for Jason.
And Jason's going to bet here. I think it's 900.
Tell myself
So he's
that 9.
betting a little bit over the size of the pot.
Now that's a pot called the kettle black.
I talk a lot less than you do at the table, Mike.
No.
And I think it's actually 800, Dave. So he's betting about the size of the pot. So it's a $1,600 pot, 800 to call, and now Track gets rid of it.
Word count.
And I think Joe, well, let's see what Joe does.
Well, Joe's picked up more outs there now.
But
Any
he's got to
3,
think that he's beat right now. And
he
I mean,
knows he's beat.
Yeah. Even if Mike had something like 3-6, he got there.
I mean, Jason picks his spots when he's going to bluff. I just don't think Jason would, there was a better, a raise,
Yep.
and then Jason called that.
Yeah.
What's he calling with?
And I think he showed the jack there, Dave.
Queen Jack. That's one.
There you go.
And Dave, it's Friday night, so not only is it bluff night,
It's, what is it?
double fist night.
Double fist night. Oh, wow. Exciting. So if everybody wants to come out down to the Bicycle Casino, they can actually have a beer with the infamous Bart Hansen.
A couple of shots of Patron.
You can actually play tonight also, or no? So I know last Friday you had a couple of shots of Patron and maybe a beer, and then you ran off to party, right?
I had a girl waiting for me.
Yeah.
The only way I can get a woman.
Told you that Hooters chick.
Okay, she's really a man.
Oh, right. One thing Jason always has with him, he always walks around, everywhere he goes, he always has a fan.
That's right.
Always has the fan. The fan, the visor.
You know, the funny thing is, I actually like Jason, even though he blew me off that one time. There's another guy that I just can't stand that comes around with the fan. He's a tournament player.
Oh,
He has
he's
a mustache.
turd.
What is his name? I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I don't remember it. Denny Williams would know it because he's a big-time tournament player.
Yeah, but he's a big-time tournament loser. I've never seen him win. I see him enter every tournament.
And we're not talking about Armenian Chris, because he walks around with a fan too.
No, I
Yeah.
like Chris Gregorian. He's a great guy.
Yeah, there's another guy, and I'll get it. I'll come back.
But I know you're talking
Oh,
about exactly. I've seen him.
Robert Roeder.
Is that his name?
Yeah, if anyone knows who
Oh.
that is. Robert Roeder.
You should check out. I want to know what his poker accomplishments are. I see him enter every single tournament, and I've never seen him. I always see him in the live games, like an hour after the tournament starts.
Pot is limped around here. Jack 10-5.
Open-ended straight draw for Tommy there.
And turn is a king.
Yeah, Jason's got a top pair now. Joe's picked up a heart draw, though.
220.
He's going to
gonna
bet it.
He's going to bet 220 here. Well, let's see what Jason does with king with a weak kicker. And Jason rightly says flush draw.
Now the king there pretty much kills Tommy's open-ended straight draw because any queen can
Right.
give anybody with an ace a straight.
Yeah, it looks like. And Joe says, I made the nut straight. Well, not quite. Rabbit Cam shows a 7 of clubs. I think that Jason's hand would have been good.
Yeah, 7 of clubs. Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard you call anybody a turd, but I think that guy deserves.
I can't stand that.
I don't
guy.
think anyone does.
I mean, if you sit at a table with him for more than 10 minutes,
Everyone will hate him.
he
And
complains about everything.
we're gonna look at another chip count. So Barry's creeped up, and you know it's funny. Sometimes they have that portion of the World Series of Poker where they say the biggest hand I ever laid down. Well, Barry made a big laydown with that flush draw because I think he would have went bust against Mike early
definitely.
on.
Barry's made a couple of big laydowns tonight. He also laid down top pair.
So let's look at another chip count. Barry's got 9,800. Jason's still with around 9,000. Joe with 5,300. Tommy kind of just went down about 200, and Mo has gone down about 300.
Hey, what's going on with Mo there? Bringing up the rear, huh? Come on, Mo, get it in action, buddy.
I got the worst
Now we got a raise here out of the small blind by Track Win with 7-10 of clubs. And look at this. Joe's got Queen Jack of clubs. King 6 Queen. Remember, Track is the raiser. And Joe's going to bet here. So Track shuts down. He does not bet here. And Joe's going to bet here with the Queen Jack. Now Jason's got a flush draw with Jack 7. He's going to call. Track's out of there.
Now, Jason does have position on Joe here.
Pot's about 700. There's the flush. Well, Joe doesn't have a king, so. Look at that. Mike says, "What do you get? Jack 8 of hearts?" Almost. Jason's going to bet 300, and what is Joe going to do? He looks like he's cutting chips. He's going to. This is the wrong time to bluff, though. In this case, if he is. Pot's about $1,000. It's 300 to call.
And this is what's dangerous about Jason. You know, he gets paid off a lot because he would make this move with anything. He could actually have, like, I mean, this is the kind of hand where he'd have ace-6 of spades, but he'll use the 3 of hearts and bluff with it.
He's going to call, and Joe is drawing dead. $1,300 pot, and the river's a 6.
Well, that's one more hand you can't beat now. Like I said, if the guy had ace-6 of spades and was messing around. I mean, right now, Joe really can't beat much. Can't beat hearts, can't beat a king, can't beat a 6. I mean, he can beat, like, Jack 10.
Joe checks, and Jason's going to bet 500. And the pot is now 1,800, 500 to call. And like you said, if you play it back in your head, Dave, there isn't a whole lot he can beat.
Well, you start thinking, okay, well, but the problem is Jason could have anything here. I mean, he could beat Jack 10. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, you could beat a weaker queen. And Jason does like to bet the river. Even on some questionable plays, like we saw before, he actually bet the river there. He actually raised it with King Queen against Mike before. So you got to say, you know, Jason might actually bet a king here, King 10.
Yep, Joe's going to get rid of it. And maybe the 6 saved him some money there at the end. Looks like we got a couple of dictionary definitions of that fluffer term, David. I'm not going to read them out because I'm just Mr. Naive, so I'll just sit and wonder.
Okay. I'm just curious what the dictionary definition was.
I think it was the Urban Encyclopedia, actually.
Oh, okay. We got some real...
I mean, I can tell you another word that fluffer is. I mean, we used to call sandwiches that we ate in elementary school fluffer nutters.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was. Got a small little raise there. I believe Jason raised with 7 deuce. And, but look at the crap out there.
Mike's got pocket 7.
Track called with 9 deuce. And he's got the best hand here.
10, 9, 6, and
330.
well, Mike's gonna bet.
Well, that's not a bad flop for pocket 7s.
He's gonna bet 330.
He's got a gut shot with a pair.
Let's see what Track does. He has the best hand. He's gonna make the call.
He's
Pot
also-
is now about $1,000, Dave. The turn is an 8, and there's the straight for Mike. And he checks it. Is he laying the trap again?
Now, this is the problem. Mike is actually playing it very similar to the way he played last time when Track had,
Check, check here.
yeah, when it was check, check. And now you're wondering, wait a second, now this time he has it.
Uh-oh, and the river's a 9. It's a third diamond, but Track's made trips. And Mike's going to bet. He's going to bet 600, and Track quickly calls, and Mike's going to take down over a $2,000 pot. What a river card to slow play that one with. Wow.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder, I wonder if the 9 doesn't come, does Track pay him off anyway?
Well,
I mean, obviously we'll never know.
For like 2 hours. Come on, your players.
unbelievable.
What is becoming like Yoda?
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Dave, we had we had about 50 emails last night, the most we've ever had, and I got to maybe half of them. We haven't really had any emails tonight. This is the first guy who emailed us, Ray
And
Newman.
we need your guys'
Yeah.
help. Please, let us know who you think the best bluffer is.
Ray says, how early would it take to get there on a Wednesday to ensure that I get a seat in that game? That's from Ray Newman. And, if you show up, Dave, like by 4 o'clock, I think you can easily get a seat. He also asks, can you explain to me more in depth what reverse implied odds are? Want to take a shot at that one?
No, you go ahead.
5-way action.
Flop is King Jack 7, a couple of hearts.
Barry's got the nut flush draw.
60.
And Barry bet 60 with the flush draw. And Mo's going to call here with the Jack. Jack 3.
Well, he's got the best hand. How much heat can he really take with a Jack 3?
Pair of 7s, and the turn was 7. So you got a full house. I had a big one, and then the river was another 7.
Is Jason thinking of making a play here?
It's good for the game, though, Barry. Yeah.
Gonna fold. And Track, he's got a gut shot, but it's a black gut shot, and he's going to call.
3 players.
Wow. Turn is a queen, and now Track has the best hand.
That happens. I played that game one time in 5,000.
And he's going to bet.
Full house over full house.
He bets 220 here. Barry's got a gut shot to the 10.
Well, 220, that kind of prices Barry in, doesn't it? How much is the pot now?
Well, I want to say the bet by Barry was how much here on the flop?
All right. Dave.
About 150.
One more card.
And he's going to bet.
Come on.
He's going to call, yeah.
Yeah, or he's going to call.
And Mo throws away his jack there.
And the river's a 5. It was only a $60 bet on the flop.
Okay,
so it's
we're
not
looking
that
at about
big.
$300, about
Yeah.
$500.
River's a 5, and Track's got the best hand. Now he's going to bet 600.
I think Barry thought maybe there was some implied odds there.
Yeah. When he bet the, what was it, 200 there on the turn, the pot wasn't all that big.
Okay.
Yeah. Got another email here by Andrew Ferguson. He says, just wondering about this game. What sort of bankroll would you have, to be sitting comfortable at this table? Considering it's bluffed night, I'm disappointed Mo is so short stacked.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if you're playing this game 5 days a week, okay? I mean, to me, you've got to have a $100,000 bankroll. Minimum. Maybe even more than that. If you're a recreational player and you're only playing once in a while, obviously, to me, I'd want to come to the casino with at least $10,000 on a given night.
So we got a new player in there. It's Leo.
Maybe buy in for $3,000, $3,500, and have a couple of buy-ins, at least. I mean, I guess if you were buying for like $3,500 each time,
Right.
and you had 3 buy-ins,
It's not good for him. Let's go down.
Queen Jack against Ace 5 here. And Mike's got an open-ended straight draw.
You use every 20 minutes.
Yes,
And I'm jealous.
Call.
And he's going to make the call. Track is with overcards. Wow. And he hits one of them, Dave. It's a jack on the turn. And he's going to bet.
5.
He bets 500.
well, I mean, I like the bet on the turn. You certainly don't want to give Mike a free card if Mike happens to have a 5. Mike could very easily have 6-5, 7-5, 4-5.
Jack or ace jack? And how he calls 200 on the flop.
And he's going to call. He's going to make the call with the straight
Well-
draw. Here we go to the river. And Mike does not get there, but it is a third heart. Can Mike use that heart?
Yeah, I don't know if Track has enough money. to
Yeah,
go
I
away
don't
from
think
this
so
hand.
either. Dave, I want to say that the pot is about $1,400, and they're just going to check it down.
Queen jack.
And Track's going to take it.
Let's play with you, man. You guys are sick. You just absolutely keep trying to give me money all night. You look back what they
Oh, you love it.
You tell me, I said you play the. He's making money, Connie. Why wouldn't he call you? I'd call you too. Why are you complaining? You win with you.
I'm not. I take about 59 from you. I love it. Because later he's going to get some cheese with that wine.
Snack because you give me. You know, I've been losing to you many hands and I don't say a word. And you get the, when you lose only a few $100. It gives you good
There it is, Dave.
I know.
I love it.
That's what I said. I love it.
No, he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. I just
And look at
told you
this.
what was-
Notice how we just got quiet and let the table talk go. Where's Jive Dadson?
I know.
He's behind the button. That's why.
And anyways, I want to get back to that implied odds thing, Dave. I forgot to answer that.
Oh, okay, the reverse implied
Yeah.
odds.
King, Queen, Deuce here with a couple of hearts.
80.
And we got a bet here by Mike for 80, and he's going to take it down. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm not 100% sure on this, and because I kind of looked at you when we read the email, and we could have just ignored it, the email, Dave, about reverse implied odds. But I want to say my understanding of reverse implied odds, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. Somebody can correct me. It's got something to do with the fact that you might actually price, somebody in when you have a draw into a hand. When you bet a certain amount with a big draw that somebody might call with, an inferior hand, so that when you hit your hand, they're still in the hand.
80.
And it's kind of reverse implied odds within the hand.
Okay.
Yeah. We got pocket queens here in seat number 9, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, we'll know pretty soon about that.
No, these guys are shy.
Yeah. So Barry's going to raise here with pocket queens. Actually, you know what? It's Track who's got the queens. Excuse me. Did he just smooth call the raise?
Players.
And he's going to get in trouble here.
Wow.
9-10 jack. Look at this.
Mike's Mike raced with king queen. He flopped a straight. Leo's got top 2, and Track's got queens. Track's going to bet right away. I believe he's in first position here.
Oh, this is one of those times. If Mike does not slow play this hand, he can make a ton of money.
Leo just calls. Oh, Mike. Hopefully they're in action. Hopefully we see a blank here, because Mike could have made a ton of money. Leo just called with top 2. Pot's about, I want to say the pot is about $900, and the turn is an 8, and that's an action killer. But look at this. Track's made a straight, and Mike has a higher straight. And Track is going to lose all his money. The only thing is that Leo is probably going to get out of the hand now.
Now, you kind of wonder if Mike had pushed on the turn, on the flop,
Yeah.
what happens then?
Track's going to bet.
12.
He's bets $1,200, $2,100 pot. Mike could have had all of Leo's money as well, most likely. Well, he had top 2.
Who knows?
And Mike has the nut straight. It's a $2,100 pot, $1,200 to call.
And Track is drawing dead. Track cannot win this hand. Leo now is out of the hand, and Mike is going to win this pot.
And Mike moves all in.
All in.
And Track makes the call. And Dave, this is going to be over a $3,000 pot. And the river's a 5, and Mike busts Track with king queen. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Nice hand.
Yeah, I wonder if do you think that Track gets away from it if if it's a big raise? I don't know on the flop.
Well, and that's actually a $4,000 pot. I didn't take into account Mike's money. I mean, it's a $4,000 pot for this one. Wow. Unbelievable.
You see, I was going to say reverse implied odds. Obviously, my understanding, I've never actually heard the word, but I can just say my thinking of it would be where you have to think of what your opponent might have, and what are their implied odds in the sense of, if they hit their draw.
Yeah.
And in terms of, you want to price them out of their draw, maybe. But obviously, I'm sure
But I
somebody
think
on
that you
2+2
can
will rip us apart.
receive reversed implied odds, though, as well. But, I mean, we're man enough to tell us that we'll take some help with that.
Well, I've never actually heard that terminology before.
I mean, I've heard the terminology,
He's got the big blind here.
but I don't have a great understanding, or I've never used it in this show, and I don't have a great understanding of what, it is supposed to be, what it's supposed to mean exactly.
Well, oftentimes, a lot of theories, poker theories,
Yeah.
people will address them differently,
Right.
and call them by different names.
Right.
I've just never actually heard of reverse implied odds.
The board tears up. I don't have a lot of rainbow.
Calling the 70. Keep calling.
And
Okay.
Track's going to have some money here behind.
Yeah, he takes a $5,000 roll out of his
Yeah.
pocket, and he's going to cash it in.
I wasn't. I make green eye straight with a flush.
Where were you, man?
King 6 deuce here. A couple of spades. And we had the pot was, I believe, was the pot limped around here?
$60 bet there.
I think it was raised Barry pre-flop.
Okay.
And he's going to bet 220. Barry had raised it up to 60 pre-flop. He's going to bet about the size of the pot, 220 here. And it looks like his hand is good with
With only one
overcard.
overcard, I like
Yeah.
that bet by Barry.
Yep.
And I think he's going to take it down.
Yep.
Interesting email here from Michael Rodriguez. Thank you. Hey, what's up, guys? Good job on the coverage. He wants to know if the Hooters girl was hot. From a 1 through 10
Well, she
scale.
works at Hooters. Are you kidding me?
Well, from a 1 through 10 scale. And that's Michael. He wants to know, not me.
Well, I think she's listening, so she's a 10.
And if she wasn't listening? She's a 10 only because she's listening?
Well, I mean, your wife's a 10 regardless, right?
No, my wife is a 10.
Right. Regardless if she's listening or not.
Right.
So this girl is too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. Shovel in the crack. Shovel in it. There you go.
Button is over here in seat 8.
Once again, we are live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 10 and 20.
They're down 4 points all of a sudden. They scored 2 points this quarter, like something sick like that. 90?
Now we get a raise to 90 by, looks like Jason with pocket 7s.
They're like high schoolers.
And Leo has moved to seat 5.
Oh, you're not on a free roll.
It's unbelievable. They scored 2 points in like
And we're going to see a couple of callers here. So we've got about a $360 pot. Deuce 4-9. Not a bad flop for pocket 7s.
No, not at all. He's going to bet it.
He bets 170. It's about half the size of the pot, Dave.
Now I'm looking at this Robert Roeder thing from the Hendon Mob
Raise.
database. And he's got a lot of high finishes, I suppose, but he plays every single tournament there is.
Look at this. Joe has raised it up. He's check raised 400 more.
Well, I think he might think that his hand is the best hand.
And now the pot is about 900, 400 for Jason to call. He cannot beat the 9.
And that's often the best way to play against Jason, is instead of calling him, raise him when you think he's full of crap.
Yeah.
And there, Joe, it's a nice little bluff there with second pair.
Well, I don't think that Jason thought he was full of crap, but I guess he didn't think his hand could stand a check raise.
Right, right.
So there's a bluff there by Joe.
Yeah.
Look good all year, man.
Although, do you think that Joe thought he had the best hand? That's the other thing,
Not
too.
sure.
I mean,
Who knows?
yeah, it's kind of
I
a...
went to their home opener.
But he got the better hand out.
Yeah.
It was a nice play either way.
Tommy, he's not listening.
Once again, it is bluff night tonight, and the winner of bluff night tonight will win some tickets.
Yeah, win some tickets. And we're going to take a look at another chip count. Well, Mike won that big pot off a track, and he's up to 12,500. Jason's up to 11,000. Barry's over 10,000. And track is rebought for 2,000. And again, Mo down to 800. Tommy's just, he hasn't been playing much at all.
Yeah, well, Tommy's one of those players where he'll only play 3 or 4 hands all night,
Yeah.
but he'll probably finish up at the end of it all.
Pot was limped around here. And the flop comes 5-5-10, and Jason's going to bet here with pocket 6s. And Track's got trip 5s, and he's just going to smooth call. Look at that, he's playing 9-5. Turns a deuce. Jason checks.
This is one of those times, though, if you're Jason, though, you can't beat a 5, you can't beat a 10, right?
Yeah.
And there's no draw. there. So, I mean, unless Track's on a complete bluff, your 6s are no good.
He's driving back to Philly, and he remembered he had the Laker tickets, and he paid all the money for the Laker tickets.
But look at that, Jason.
He's going to check raise.
It's a fun game to watch.
And, yeah, Track takes down.
Track's good. Did Jason check raise there?
No, actually, it was reversed.
Oh, okay.
I went to their home opener against Phoenix, man. They
And the river would have brought a 6.
Wow, the river was a 6. That's amazing.
Oh, wow, that would have been huge.
I thought that Jason check raised there for a second, Dave.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm looking at these 2+2 avatars.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that Russ McGinley got not kicked off of 2+2 for
Right.
his. I mean, I'm looking at, naked
Right.
women in
Right.
bikinis, and I'm going,
Right.
wait a second, and Russ got kicked off for his?
And again, our email is live@thebike.com. We got an email here from Abraham. He says, well, guys, can you explain implied odds?
Okay,
So
that's-
there you go. Take that
Obviously.
one, Dave.
Now,
Yeah.
implied odds, obviously, when you're trying to figure out if you want to make a call on something,
Right.
you can obviously look at the pot and what's in the pot.
Right.
So theoretically, if I had a flush draw and somebody bets 100 and I'm looking at the pot, there's 1,000 in the pot. Okay, well, I'm betting 100. I have to call 100 to win
Right.
1,000 in the pot. But remember, if I hit my flush, might I win more money on subsequent on the next street and on the
Right.
river and so forth?
Right.
And that's implied odds. So let's say I have $15,000 behind me. The guy I'm playing against has $15,000 behind me, and he only charges me $100 to go for my flush draw. Well, okay, I can call the 100 because not only might I win what's in the pot, but I might get a chance to get his 15,000 also, which is
Right.
what the implied odds are.
And it got checked around here. Mike has an ace. He did not bet. Actually, he had 2 pair. And again, he played it slow. Mo's picked up a flush draw, and Mo is going to call. So Mike picked up top 2. It was limped around pre-flop. He checked it. Now he bet. He was in early position, so maybe he was going for the check raise. And Mo is called with the flush draw.
I don't expect you.
And the pot is not that big, so here we go to the river. And the river's a deuce, so a 5 would bring a straight. And Mike's going to bet.
I bet 300.
He's going to bet 300, and he's going to take it down. Well, Mike has really been slow playing a lot tonight, Dave.
Well, he likes to slow play his real big hands.
Yeah, but he was, the funny thing was he was in first position, so he might have been going for a check raise, and nobody bet
Definitely.
the flop. So,
Problem is, it's an unraised pot, though, right?
it's true.
I mean, an unraised pot, can you really count on somebody betting when there's an ace out there?
And when we were talking about implied odds, No Limit Hold'em is a game of implied odds. Of course, I mean, there are implied
Limit
odds.
Hold'em is more of what's in the pot.
Right.
The most you're going to win is maybe 1 or 2 more
I
big
mean,
bets.
there are some implied odds in Limit Hold'em, but it's not going to make the difference really in making it between a call or fold you know, not really going to make that difference in decisions on a certain street. Like in No Limit, when you can win the guy's entire stack, when I was talking about that 6-4 of hearts hand, I had extreme implied odds with that hand against that gentleman that had me covered earlier today.
Well, I mean, basically, anytime you're calling with a small pocket pair, you're calling because of the implied odds.
Right.
Oh, and missed a free throw. Thank you.
6-5 deuce here.
Oh, nice flop for Joe there. Joe's got an open-ended straight draw. It's a rainbow board. And I want to say the best hand is actually track with a pair of deuces. I don't think anybody can call Joe's bet here.
Oh, and this boat. Yeah.
And Joe takes it down. Nice bet there by Joe. And Joe has moved to seat 2. He and Leo have kind of switched. So a little update here. We've got Barry Woods in seat 1. We've got Joe in seat 2.
There's a good pass.
We've got Mike in seat 3. We've got Mo in seat 4.
2-point game.
We've got Leo in seat 5.
Toby had a good dish.
We've got seat 6 is actually empty. We've got Jason in seat 7. Not there, obviously, but there's his chips. Tommy Huffnagel in seat 8. And Track Win in seat 9.
So we're going to see a raise here by Track Win. He's going to raise it up to 150. He's got ace queen of clubs. And he's going to take it down there.
Thank you.
Great email here from Russ McGinley.
Yep.
Found this little nugget on some website. Implied odds and reverse implied odds are based on the possibility of winning or losing more money later in the hand. They consider the situation after the next cards have been dealt and explain situations where things are better or worse than pot odds make them seem. He says, put another way, implied odds is the ratio between implied odds is the ratio between the amount you expect to win when you make your hand versus the amount it will cost to continue playing.
The button's going to move over here to seat 5.
Make it 80.
We got a raise here to 80 by Barry Woods. He's got pocket 10s. And Mike's going to call with 8-9 offsuit. And Leo there on the button, he's got ace-queen. And he's going to call as well. And Leo's played it pretty tight, James, so far.
Thank you very much, Russ McGinley. Appreciate the little nugget you found.
And here we go to the flop. Queen, 8, jack. Leo's got top pair here.
Now, Mike's got bottom pair with a gut shot. Barry's got a gut shot as well.
Yeah, and Barry's going to bet 240 here. He's going to bet the pot. Mike's going to
call, I think.
No, he raised, Dave. There's
Wow.
4 white chips in there. And now what does Leo do? Mike raised it up, I believe, to 520 total.
Now, this puts you in a tough spot if you're Leo. Now, you've been watching Mike for a while. You're pretty sure he does not have 9-10. Because if he had 9-10, he'd smooth call, right?
Right.
If he had 2 pair, he might even smooth call.
Or set. You know, we've seen him play it this way
Right.
all time.
So basically, if he had a hand better than ace-queen.
And Leo's going to move all in over the top here.
Nice play by Leo.
Yep. He's going to move all in over the top. The pot was 1,100 before he moved all in, and it doesn't matter because Mike's going to fold and Leo's going to take it down.
Now, Mike obviously mixes up his game, but if you're watching the game with Mike, and obviously we're privy to see the hands that he has, right?
Yeah.
But in a game like this, if he had a hand better than ace-queen, he's probably going to slow play. I don't think he's going to raise that.
Now, we also had an email from Paul Austin regarding the same thing about reversed implied odds. And then we have an email here from Adita Gupta. And here's an example of reversed implied odds. And I don't know if this is exactly what you were talking about, Jay. Flop is deuce, deuce, jack, deuce, deuce, jack with 2 hearts. You have 9-10 of hearts, and the villain has jack, jack. You hit your hand, you lose a ton of money. The exact opposite of implied odds. Now, that's a little bit different than what we just said, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be a definition for it.
Yeah.
If that is a definition for it.
Again, I wonder if these are kind of, I mean, somebody contrived that term, so are they absolute definitions for that term?
Who knows? I mean, in
Yeah.
the end, you could be talking about the same thing
Right.
and using different words for it.
Yeah.
That to me, that's called don't go for your draw when you could be drawing big.
Yeah. Deuce 9-7 here.
Nice flop for pocket 10s, and that's seat 4. That's Mo.
Yeah.
Now, Jason's got top pair,
Bet 100.
and this could get Jason in trouble.
Now,
Let's
Mo
see.
bets 100 here.
Ace-queen? Yeah. I will find out.
And Jason's going to get away from it. Wow. And Track, he's got second pair.
I mean, Jason's almost got an uncanny sense there. I mean, how do you lay down top pair there?
And Track's going to call. And Track's in trouble. He does have an overcard that turns an ace. And Mo's going to push. Looks like for 400.
Yeah, Mo doesn't have much money here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mo takes it down.
And
I'll
there
tell you
go.
one thing about being short stack. It takes all the hard decisions out of your hands.
Then we have another post here on 2+2 from Bugman68, which I think sums it up. And now I remember the term because it was actually explained in the Theory of Poker, which I've read several times by David Scalancey. It has to do with calling bets when you don't know if your hand is the best hand, which we actually talk about all the time on the show.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, all the time.
That's what you're saying. So not only, it's one of those things where it's reverse implied odds where your hand, you're not necessarily calling on a draw because your hand actually might be the best hand right away, right?
Well, reverse implied odds, I think, have to do with the fact that you might lose because you're calling bets and you don't know if your hand is best. Like Barry, he had huge reverse implied odds there on that hand where he made his flush at the end. Luckily, he threw it away on the turn.
I got you.
Because he would have got killed on the river.
Pocket aces for Mike here.
Yeah.
Now, Track's got ace 9 of diamonds. I guarantee you he's going to call this.
Yeah. Mike made it 240.
I mean, you're calling 240 cold with ace 9 of diamonds?
And Track's going to call. Wow. And he is in real bad shape.
Yeah. It is pretty much the only hand you don't want to see there.
Yeah. And he's got only about 1,500
Aces.
left.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. 955. And I think Track's going to go broke here again, Dave.
Well, how about, is this reverse implied odds? Calling, almost drawing dead?
Mike bets 400 here. Oh, excuse me, Track bets 400. Mike asks, how much do you have left? And Mike's going to move all in. And can Track reevaluate here and think that Mike might have an overpair? And he makes the call, and he's going to have to catch running nines here. Mike has him again, and that's it. That is it. It's over. Mike... Actually, he could have caught 1-9.
Yeah, just 1-9.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I didn't want to jump in there. 1-9 would have been fine.
He could have caught 1-9. And, wow.
But one of the only 2 9s remaining. One of the last 2 9s, you only had 2 outs.
Right. Unbelievable.
Running 5s actually would have chopped it up.
That's right. That's right. For a second there, I thought that Mike had the the flop had come ace with the 9. He would have caught running 9s. But yeah, we talk about, and we actually haven't used that term, and maybe we should start using that term, reverse implied odds, because we talk about that all the time. Going for draws when you don't know that they're good, it's similar to going for a straight out there, I believe, if we're saying this correctly, with the 2 flush, because if you make your hand, you get killed with the reversed implied odds if someone else has a flush.
I mean, to me, we've never actually used that term, but to me, it's pretty much, it's just foolhardy play.
Yeah.
To me, draws are hard enough to get it ready.
Yeah.
If I hit my draw, I want to make sure that I can really bet it strong and make a lot of money on it. I don't want to hit my draw and then still be scared to bet. So, if the board is paired, I don't go for flushes generally. I don't go for straights. If there's a 2 flush on the board and there's a lot of action, I'm not going to go for my straight. There's a lot of things like that. I don't want to go for the ass end of a straight also.
Yeah.
And Mike, I mean, jeez, Track has just, been Mike's whipping boy.
Yeah.
Mike has broke him twice now. And Mike, he was off to a terrible start at the beginning of this show. But he has turned it around, and he might even be the big winner tonight so far.
Oh, I think he is.
Oh, Kobe hit a shot.
Now, Tommy Huffnagel just raised there. No one's going to play with him, Dave. It's just as simple as that,
It's amazing, though. He still gets paid off, though.
Yeah.
Get a new setup in there, a couple new decks here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how many decks we go through in a night. Actually, a day. Bicycle Casino.
Got an email here from Bernie McAtan. I had problems with this last night, Dave. Thank you again for your email. And we're going to get a new setup right here.
Got an email here wondering about our who we are.
Well,
and we're going to try to get bios up, actually, on liveatthebike.com website.
Yeah.
I actually have a blog you can check out. It's called Under the Gun with David Tuckman. If you go to liveatthebike.com, you can click on it.
Yep.
And we try to update it every week. Unfortunately, we are undermanned and understaffed, so we don't get to do that as quite often as we want to.
And that was from Mauricio. We got another email here from Sean B. He says, "Hey, when Mike Smooth called with that nut straight, can you explain what was he thinking? I know he was trying to trap in that case, but with two other players, shouldn't he try to push one of those draws out?" Well, I tend to agree. I mean, that's my style, and especially when we saw what was up there, Dave.
Well, to me, it wasn't a matter of getting the draws out there, because remember, it was a 9-10 Jack rainbow board.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much got the nuts. I mean, it's going to be a really, really bad beat for him to lose.
Yeah.
But there can be an action killer, and sure enough, the 8 came out there, which killed the action, and Jack 10 was able to throw their hand away pretty easily.
Right.
Really? We did?
But for me, you or I try to explain what Mike is thinking.
Right.
I won't even try.
Yeah.
I've known Mike a long time. He's a great guy, but I have no idea what he's thinking.
Jason's going to bring this pot in for 70. He's got Queen 9 offsuit. And it looks like no one's going to take it down. Or, excuse me, Jason's going to take it down. No one's going to play. Another email here from Jason Taylor. He says, "I've only been watching the show for 2 nights now, and I wanted to say it's the most enjoyable poker show that I have ever seen, even the ones on TV. Plus, I learn a lot about the game. My question is, the buy tonight was $1,000, which I see that at least one player did that. It would seem to me that you'd probably need about $2,500 to $3,000 to play properly in this game. True?"
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you need at least 2,000, 2,500 to really, be able to bluff, be
Yeah.
able to use every arsenal that is in your, in your game.
Right, right.
If you have $1,000 and you make a $300 raise pre-flop, well, you're pretty much almost committing yourself to the pot.
Right. Now we got a raise here by Mike. He made it 90 to go from the button with 7-3 offsuit. And Track Win's going to call here with 9-10 off. So here we go. $90 raise pre-flop. Queen 9-4. Track's got second pair. And he checks. And Mike's going to bet 210. About the size of the pot. Little over the size of the pot. And Track is going to quickly call. Here we go with these two again. Pot's about 600 now. Turns a 7. Now Mike picks up a pair. Gets checked to him, and he bets again. He's going to bet 500. Remember, Mike has busted Track, 2 times tonight, right? And Track's going to make the call again for 500. Now the pot's 1,700.
Well, this time Track's got him, though.
Yep.
Unless a 7 or a 3 peel off.
Is Mike just going to check it down here on the river? Let's see what happens here. And the river's an ace. Well, it's a scary card.
7.
Yeah, it's just going to go check here.
Pair of 7.
I mean, can Track call the river if Mike fires again there when an ace comes?
You wonder, you don't want to bluff a guy who's on tilt, a guy who's losing a lot.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll make a desperation call.
Right.
Thank you for the email from, what was that last email?
Thomas Baldrick. He explained imply odds again.
Actually, yeah, page
Yeah.
51 in The Theory of Poker by David Sklansky.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I got to say, I mean, I don't know about you, but I probably have about 30 or 40 different poker books.
Well, but the funny thing about that is I kind of feel embarrassed because I've read that book at least 30 or 40 times.
Right, but you're not going to remember every single page.
Right. I mean, that is an important concept, and we have addressed it many times on the show. We just haven't used that term to address it. Yeah.
What's the score now?
Button is in seat 4.
Damn it, what's up with these commentators? They don't even know what reversed implies odds are.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to get new commentators in here. We also have zero enthusiasm. Zero.
Right.
Raise, make it 90.
Mike's going to raise it up here to 90. He's got ace deuce of hearts, and Mo's going to come over the top for 400. He's got ace queen. Again, Mo is playing on the short stack.
And this is one of those times where Mo's got pretty much one play. He's got ace queen no matter what Mike does. Mike is, Mo has committed himself.
I mean, I understand if Mo lost, 3,000 or 4,000, he's probably not feeling maybe, best, on top of his game. But again, I tend to agree with you. I just don't know why he's putting himself in this situation because, I mean, anyone can play pre-flop, Dave. But what makes Mo's game, good is his post-flop play.
Well,
Why is he taking all the play out of it?
His ability to read somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if you're going to take a player that's somewhat mediocre,
Yeah.
or I'll give you even another example. Okay, if I was going to put you, Bart, and I don't want to, no personal against you, but if I'm going to put you in a game with, say, Barry Greenstein,
Right.
and TJ Cloutier, and 3 or 4 other amazing no-limit hold'em players, maybe I might want to put you in there with a short stack.
Right. Right.
Because you don't want to get outplayed once the flop hits.
Right.
But Mo, at this game, I would think that he's one of the better players.
Yeah.
I can't agree with you more. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I gotta shoot a free.
Limped around.
Give me 3.5, Jay.
They might have to get rid of your stop bet
No, I was going to address
Title.
that. You know, stop bet will always be my title. I mean, we might say reverse implied odds now, but it'll always be my favorite poker term.
9-8-5 here, a couple of hearts. Seat 5, Leo's got queen 5 of hearts. He's got a pair with the flush draw.
And he's going to bet 150 into the
Now,
the
Mike's
flop.
got open-ended straight draw. This is one of those times where do you want to go for it with the board paired? I mean, the board 2 flush.
So if the 7 of hearts comes out, he's going to lose a lot.
He could.
He's going to check raise. He check raises. He's going to check raise to 450. Leo bet 150. Mike check raised to 450. And it's 300 for Leo to call. So what is Leo going to do here? He's got a flush, draw, and a pair, and he's going to make the call.
Did he really?
I didn't look. I don't know.
Pot's over $1,000, and there's the deuce of hearts. Leo makes the flush, and Mike's going to bet in again.
Well, he's representing the hearts.
He's going to bet 600. And, you know, Mike's got the jack of hearts. He is drawing dead here. But, I mean, if Leo were actually to put him in, Mike is the type of guy that he actually might call here anyways with the jack of hearts and the open-ended straight
How
draw.
much does Leo have left?
It looks, yeah, he's going to move all in.
I don't think Mike can call this.
Well, Leo looks like he's going to put in for maybe another 1,500, I would say.
Mike's got to know that he might be drawing dead. I just...
1,400.
Yeah. It's about 1,500 more. And, Dave, I want to say that the pot is between 3,000 and 3,500, 1,500 to call.
So now, obviously, in this case, there are no implied odds.
No
Because-
implied odds.
Because Leo is all in.
Right.
So it's just a matter of a math question and a matter of looking at it. But in this case, Mike's got to realize, I don't care how much money how much more money
Well, he
is
doesn't know
there.
if the jack of hearts is good.
He could be drawing dead, and he is drawing
He
dead.
is drawing dead. He is drawing dead. I mean, the pot, again, is about 3,000 to 3,500. 1,500 to call. And actually, I think because it was a $600 bet, I think it only might be 1,000 to call. Because Mike put in 600 and the guy had about 1,500 total. So it might be 900 to 1,000 to call. Yeah, Mike, he says, I
hasn't
think
said
I'm
it. He
drawing
goes,
dead.
I think I'm drawing dead.
Yeah, and he folds. And there it is.
Good lay down by Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you put Leo on like 2 pair, 9-8,
Yeah.
you can't even call then, really.
Yeah.
Play like your nickname, Ice.
Okay.
Dave, we're already halfway through the show, man. Time just goes through. It just goes, you know, it goes so quick on the show. It's amazing.
They lost by 4.
Don't bet no parlay. I don't bet parlay. You bet straight.
I mean, that's pretty sick. Kobe was 7 for 27. That's pretty
I
good.
like that. I like the email we got here from Jay Peterson. Hi there, great show, and I definitely enjoy the commentary. Just wondering what you guys think is the sweetest poker nickname around, and how you think most of the pros get their nicknames.
5-way action here. Limped around, ace, king, 6, all hearts. This is one of these types of hands flops, Dave, where you can really bet in, and it's really difficult for anyone to call.
Yeah, Mike's got the ace. Mo has a jack of hearts, but I think he's going to lay it down.
Look at this. See, Mo lays down the second. Actually, no, he's going to move all in. Excuse me. He moves all in. I thought he was laying it down. He's going to move all in.
Wow.
And I don't know. You know, the funny thing is that Mike actually might call here. No? Well, let's see. No, he's going to fold.
Well, Mo's got some outs there. Any queen?
Yeah, he's got a straight draw,
Any
flush
heart.
draw. Yeah. Strong semi-bluff there.
Oh, and it's another case where Mo doesn't have that much money, so, you know, if he's wrong, he only loses $800. I think most of the poker nicknames, I think most people give themselves the names.
Right.
What do you think's the sweetest one out there, though?
You're going to have to give me a couple minutes on that one.
Okay.
I don't want to show even winner,
Ever.
even the best time.
For now
winner?
until
No,
ever.
I told him 1 year.
I mean, we know that we've got a couple of people
And this
here
I
that
start
nickname
on
themselves
Right.
Ice. What a great
Ice.
nickname for that guy, right? Right?
Greek poker god.
right.
Midnight.
You can study how he plays.
And all these nicknames are self-named.
Yeah, I think Midnight was actually, somebody gave it to him.
Oh, okay. Actually, looks like Leo limped in here with ace-king in early position in seat 5. Jay's limped in with ace-5 offsuit.
60 more.
And Barry's going to raise. He's got pocket 7s in seat 1.
Now, interesting here, that seat 2, Joe's got pocket 8s.
And he immediately calls. Mike calls with pocket 4s. Leo's in there with ace-king. Now Jason knows that ace-5 doesn't have a lot of value offsuit multi-way, and Track's going to call with jack-7. Wow.
I'm ahead at this point.
And the raise was 80, so we've got about a $400 pot going to the flop. Deuce 3 queen. I was wondering if anyone was going to hit a set this hand, Dave. Didn't happen.
No, and amazingly, Joe's hand is still the best hand.
But Barry was the raiser, so he's going to continue on with just one overcount. And let's see how Joe plays it. He's got all these people to act behind him.
And that's the problem with the hand.
Yeah, he's going to fold.
If it was heads up there, if Joe had raised it pre-flop and got it heads up, which I don't think he's going to do, because Leo's behind the
Look at this. Mike races now. Because Mike only has one overcard to the board as well, with his pocket 4s.
And I think he gets Leo to throw the ace-king away.
Yeah. Track
Track's
doesn't
got
have
nothing.
anything.
He's going to throw his hand
See
away.
what Barry does here. Mike is raised, and Barry's going to make the call.
Well, we've seen Barry win a big hand with pocket 7s.
Again, the pot's about $1,000 now. The turn,
Nine of
nine
hearts.
of hearts. And Barry's he called the flop, and he's going to bet again. He's going to call and bet. Little stop and go there.
Well, that's a lot of strength.
He bets 1,000.
A lot of strength.
Yep. Does not re-raise the flop, calls, and then leads in again to Mike.
Yeah, medium rare is the best.
Mike has some strength. His pocket 4 is no good. Wasn't lying.
Oh wait, I only got pocket 3s. Damn, I got Joe, I guess. Oh, I got pocket 4s.
And it looks like Mike is going to get rid of it.
Pocket 4s. You said you didn't have a pair. Swear to God. You showed them pocket 4s.
Now you show.
I had your ass wasted.
Look.
Email here from Michael Rodriguez. He says, how long have you guys been doing the show? This show's been going on since the end of January? Or the beginning of February? Is that right?
What's the actual date? We got to have a 1-year anniversary party.
Yeah.
We can invite all the Hooter girls. I mean, the HollywoodPoker.com just had their 1-year anniversary party, and it was a blowout party.
And again, for all you new viewers out there, you might think, well, man, I wish I'd been watching this show earlier. It's been on for 10 months. Well, you can watch all of the saved shows.
No, we can't.
By going to the archives. Just
We've
click
saved them
on
all?
the archive banner in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. A small $14.95 subscription per month gets you access to every show we've ever broadcast.
Wait a second. You're telling me we have over 1,500 hours. How could we possibly have every show on there?
Every single show.
Every one?
Every single one.
Amazing.
So check it out. Now we're going to look at another chip count here. Mike, he continues to creep up. He's got 13,000. Jason's down, I think, a little bit since last one. He's at 11,000. And Barry's just moping along there. And
Got
again,
some money
Tommy
on this
and
table,
Mo.
huh?
Tommy and Mo really haven't moved. Pot is limped around here.
And to be honest, I don't think you need to cover the table to play this game well. But I think you do need 3,000, 3,500.
And it was limped around, and Mike is going to raise here out of the big blind with pocket 7s. He's going to make it 120, and Track has moved over there to seat 6. And Dave, Track's playing any 2 cards right now. He's got 6-3 offsuit, and it's not like he's loose aggressive like Jason and Mike. In actuality, Jason's kind of shut down.
Well, Track's lost 2 buy-ins now.
Yeah.
You know what? And he might be, trying to play any 2 cards, try to
Barry's,
capture little magic.
Barry's got one of these hands where you say, well, he's got implied odds. The only thing is, with Mike, you don't necessarily know what he's raising. I mean, if the board came out all rags and Barry hit a 4, maybe he could get Mike big here.
Well, that's the kind of flop that he might get himself hurt. 10-10-5, not a bad flop for Mike or Barry.
Mike's going to bet 400. Now, Mike got away from pocket 4s against Barry. Let's see if Barry can get away with pocket 4s from Mike.
And it's identical hands, just opposite.
Yeah. Same exact type of thing that's going on here. $400 bet here by Mike.
And look, they both share clubs and hearts. So running clubs would not help Barry.
Again, I think these are, in this situation, pocket 4 is a little low because it's actually, he can't beat a 5, but he's gonna raise. He's gonna raise. He's gonna make it 1,000 straight, so 600 more. Now remember, Mike might remember he's got a short, and is Mike coming back over the top?
1,000.
He's gonna come over the top for another 1,000. These are real cash chips, folks, that we have at the table, and they're thrown around like they're tiddlywinks, Dave.
Tiddlywink?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, wow. What the hell's a tiddlywink?
Oh, come on.
Well, and that was interesting there. Mike bet it. Barry kind of said, hey, your bet's no good, and Mike said, I don't think so. I think I had the best hand here.
So raise to 1,000, and Mike comes over the top for another 1,000. And the pot is about 2,700, and Barry's going to get away from it.
Nice play by Mike there.
Yep. And Ken Prevost has emailed us about implied odds. I think we have that thing down.
Yeah,
we appreciate the emails, and you can email us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've gotten about 15 emails with that little passage from Skalansky's Theory of Poker.
No, that's great. We appreciate it. I mean, it's great where you can actually throw out a couple of questions and get so many answers right away.
Right.
You going to Vegas next week?
And there's the Greek poker god. And boy, did he take a horrific beat last night, Dave.
You know what, though?
Against Tony.
I got to tell you.
And he said that he actually lost 1,800 on that hand with a set of fives against Queen 7.
Right.
He didn't even come in.
You know, I mean, he also gave Mo a really bad beat the first hand of the night last night. So, you know, what comes around goes around.
Yeah.
Week after, George, I'm in like Flint.
You're in?
The week after.
Pocket aces here for Mike in the small blinds.
Oh, he had aces like, what, 10 minutes ago? Now, does Mo call this with 9-10 of spades?
Well, he does.
Now, this is one of those times. Now, if I have 9-10 of spades and I'm $4,000 or $5,000 deep, okay.
Right.
But Mo only has $800-900.
Right. And Track calls with 10-6 of clubs.
And Track is now in seat 6, by the way, folks.
Give me some dates. Give me some exact dates.
We'll talk about it.
Ace, King 5. Mike flops a set and ace. Do you think he's going to check it? He checked it, Dave.
Now, but he's in danger, though, because Track's got a flush draw.
Yeah. And is Track going to bet on the flush draw?
Yes, he is. He's doing it
You know,
$300.
the funny thing here is, Dave, I might take the card because I might sense that, you know, if Mike had jacks or tens or something, he would have bet. You remember he bet with his mediocre hands and he slowed playing his huge
Right,
hands.
the only thing I want to throw at you, though, is, I mean, Mike raising, he could be raising with 6-4.
Yeah.
I mean, he could raise with anything.
And Mike makes a smooth call here. And here we go to the turn. The turn's a jack. That gives Track more outs.
Yeah.
And Track moves all in here, and Mike calls. Oh, wow. Track's on a draw. He needs to catch a queen or a club, and there's the club. And Track's going to take some of that money back.
Wow.
And that's over a $5,000 pot there, I think, because Track was in there. Wow, and Mike's already talking it up here again.
And Mike traps Track, but gets himself in trouble.
Yep. Well, it was bound to happen.
Well, you know what? I don't know if Track would have gone anywhere anyway, to be honest with you.
He had 2,100 left, so again, about a $5,000 pot with that dead money in there. 4,500 to 5,000.
And Track, with 10-6 of clubs,
Yep.
finally gets the best of Mike.
Yep.
Because Mike has just beaten him time and time again tonight.
Yep. Wow. See if Mike steams a little bit here, Dave.
Yeah, he does. I've seen him tilt, but he is still up for the night, so I'm not sure if he'll go quite nuts yet.
Yeah.
It's always kind of annoying when you flop a set of aces and still lose.
Yeah.
Well, I figured when you call me, I got me beat.
You
I have to go all in. Otherwise, I'm going to be scary when I bet 500.
You don't think your 10 high is good?
You had to put 2,000 in there with 10 high flush down?
Look at this. Arvin says on 2+2, Bart, you owe me some computer speakers. They blew out after that 7 on the turn that gave Tony a bigger full house last night. $50 will do.
$50? What kind of speakers are you getting, man? Jeez. Come on, send him $250. Let him get some real speakers.
Well, Mike's got picked up a decent hand from the button. He's got ace jack. He's going to raise. And Mo's going to call out of position with queen 10, and Track's in there with 3-4.
I got to tell you, anybody familiar with your Bartgasms?
Yeah.
Really should get a big subwoofer, a couple of big speakers.
Well, here comes the flop here, 8, 9, 10. And Mo's going to push in here. He's got a gut shot and top pair. Now, Mike, he's open-ended with ace jack.
Yeah, you wonder, does Mike call this for $800? Now, the pot is only what? 300?
Yeah, the pot's about 300. So Mo betting 800, so 1,100, 800 to call. So he's not really getting the right odds here. And again, in this equation, there are no implied odds. It's just a math problem. It's a pot odds issue.
You got to start figuring out, well, if I hit my jack, is it good?
Yeah.
Because it might not be, because then it's a one-line into a straight.
The other thing that people have to realize with implied odds and going for specific hands, a hand like, a 3 flush on the board on the flop, and you have the ace of hearts, that type of hand is not going to have the type of implied odds as, say, you have like a hidden double gutter and you hit a straight on the turn.
Without a doubt.
Because you got to look how obvious whatever making your hand, how obvious it is.
Well, most flush draws.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in a hand and when somebody's playing a hand, the flush draw is just so obvious. Everybody's always going, oh, there's 2 hearts out there. He must have a flush draw. He called me.
Right.
The straights are almost always, especially when you get like a gut shot or a double gutter.
Right.
It's always more of a moneymaker.
Mike's going to bring this one in for a raise again. He's got 6-4 of diamonds, and Mo calls on the button with Jack 10. $80 raise. Here we go. Heads up. Ace 4-8.
Well, Mike has outflopped him.
Mike bets 120.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Mike checks when he has a set of aces,
Well, that's what I'm
but
saying.
bets when he has bottom pair.
It's almost like he's really playing. I mean, you never call Mike's play predictable because you can't specifically put him on a hand, but his post,
It's
flop
almost
play
backwards play.
has been like a pattern. I mean,
Tonight it has, yeah.
and I like Mike's play. His loose aggressive style. It's just, I just hope he doesn't fall into trapping a lot.
The problem is, though, is we're seeing this.
Right.
Are the players at the table seeing this?
Right,
though?
right.
They might not necessarily know that.
Well, he did show down the aces against Trap, the set of aces. He did show down the set of 4s against Hunt that
Yeah.
was earlier in there. So a couple big slow plays.
But does he
Pick
show
up
down
on.
that hand?
Right. No,
I mean,
obviously
Mike
not.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you know if he has a pair of 4s or ace king?
Right.
And look, they're debating on 2 + 2. What a blocker bet is.
Well, I'm
He
not
must
even
be
going to
so
get
proud.
into that. Well, we'll give a brief description of that after this hand. Why not?
No, they're doing a great job.
And we had a little raise there by Mike.
and
Queen
everybody's in
6
there.
of hearts. And look at that. Leo just called with the ace queen. And Mike's picked up top here, but Leo's got the ace queen. Queen 10-8 with a couple of spades. Mo's open-ended.
Yeah, and this might be big enough for Mo to move
And
all
Mo
in.
is going to move all in with the draw, and he might get Leo out of the hand now. I mean, Mo is playing short stack poker right now, Dave.
He's kind of playing it like a tournament almost,
Yeah.
trying to double up and seeing if he can really play.
It's 970 total. Mike bet on the flop, I want to say, about 240. And let's see what Leo does here. Leo's got the
game-
ace of spades in his hand, too.
Well, Leo's game is pretty solid.
He's going to call.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to deal with Mike. I mean, it could be, it could open up for a re-raise.
And Mo's
coming
got to
back
hate
to
that.
Mike.
Mo's got to hate that.
Now let's see what Mike does.
He's got to muck this.
Yeah. Can
Easy
he
muck.
over? Yeah, he did muck.
Yeah, that's an easy. I mean,
Yeah.
once you get Mo and you get a caller after it's a no-brainer.
And I think are they going to run it multiple times here again? Well, there's a spade here on the turn. The river's a deuce. Leo wins that one. Turn is
there's-
a 9.
that's
Well, he's got a
straight.
spade redraw. And Mo's going to win that one. And they're just going to chop it in half. Because they're going
Now
to...
look at that last one, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. They both make it straight, but Mo obviously has the King High straight.
Right. Now, we talk about this again. We discussed running the river multiple times or running cards multiple times to decrease the variance. And now it really makes a lot of sense what Barry Greenstein said and what other players say. I mean, it's almost like you know that Mo's going to do it all the time, and you just get into a situation where if Mo's on a draw, well, I can always run it more than once.
Right.
And it's not going to be a killer. You
Well,
know?
I'm more apt to call Mo if I have a draw because it's kind of like, it's just it's not quite as scary.
Yeah.
My whole stack might not be up for grabs.
Right, right.
I love what Barry Greenstein says. He goes, I don't want anybody to I want people to fear me,
Right.
think their whole stack might be gone.
Looks like if we can get a shot at camera 1 there. Seat 1, camera 1. I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah, Barry's actually pasted something on the window.
Well, whatever that means. Mike Merrill and John Boss. Shout out. Shout out. Yeah, it's he either wants to shout out to them or shoot them.
Yeah, one of the two.
And pot is now limped around. 4-way action.
Chips.
I like this by Most Smooth. A better question would be, what is a reverse tiddlywinks?
100.
Mike's got top pair here. Not much of a kicker, but nobody else has got anything.
Well, Mike's going to call.
Who bet?
I think it was Mo. It was
Mo bet
6-8. Yeah,
6-8,
he's got
huh?
nothing. Well,
Well,
he picks
that-
up a 6. And now it goes check, check. And the river's a 9. And Mike's hand is good, and he's going to bet. He's going to bet 200.
And is Mo going to pay him?
No, Mo's not going to pay him off.
No, Mo did pay him off.
Wow.
He called him.
Wow, I thought he folded the hand.
Nope, nope.
That's unbelievable.
Mo called him.
Mo called him. Well, I guess, like when Mo checks the turn, he's inherently inducing a bluff, right?
And
especially
Mike-
from an aggressive player.
And Mike's a bluffer.
Right.
Not many. I mean, considering it's bluff night tonight, we're not seeing the abundance of bluffs, are we?
Not a lot. I think Mike is definitely in the lead there with the ace-deuce bluff from like one of the first hands of the night.
That was a big bluff.
Yeah.
Although Jason actually made a great bluff with the 8-deuce. Remember, it was a bet and a raise and
Right.
a re-raise.
Right.
Joe Wynn has made one bluff. He made a bluff with 4-5 of clubs.
Got an email here from
I find that you're doing
Tosta Penco. He says, I love the webcast.
right?
It's not enough that I have to watch poker on ESPN. Now I have to watch it
You know,
online.
the
Keep
second
up the
time
good
I had
work.
ace king, you had pocket jack, pull up brag, and
I wasn't
bet
worried
you lay
about
down.
you. I wasn't worried
Limped
about you.
around here,
I was worried about the razor.
and everybody limps.
The nickel razor.
And got an email from Charles Hollier there.
And I know you're going to
Hi, guys. How long until we see one of you guys in these games?
Well, Barry's got top pair here.
that was here. That kid.
And he's going to bet it. He also has a gut shot.
That's 40.
Now, it's the bottom end of a gut shot. Like the 9 comes.
Yep.
Oh, do you really like your hand? Obviously, George would make a bigger straight there, but he's going to lay it down.
Well, I can tell you that if, because I don't know it off the top of my head, but there are several dates, people that are new to the show, where Dave and I have played on the show, whether it was a $300, $500 game or a $200 no limit.
But in terms of this game, though.
No, we
I
haven't.
mean, I play in this game, and I know you do too.
Yes.
Just not obviously while we're doing webcast.
What I was going to say, if someone really, is really interested in watching that, they can PM me. Again, my PM is Bart Hansen on 2+2. And I have a couple of the dates in the archives where you can go and watch me play. I don't know yours off but it's all archived. I mean, the last, I think, month, we didn't necessarily give a description as to what the game was. But if you go back and look in the archives, I know that I've been on the show 2 or 3 times, and it's listed there, and you have as well. So you can see us on the show. And we've had a killing on the show.
We've done pretty well.
And so
on
has
it.
Shirley as well. So just take a look in the archives for those descriptions.
And oftentimes I'll play in this game on an off night, whether it be a Thursday night or a Wednesday night or something like that.
Look at this. We got a straddle pot, and we have a raise to 80, but Joe Wynn's got pocket aces in the big blind.
Well, he's been patient all night. Joe's been patient, waitingly for a big hand, and here it is.
Barry raced to 80 with king queen out of the small blind, and let's see what Joe does. It's a
I think
straddle
he's going to make
pot.
it 280. And he does.
Yep, there you go.
And that should win the pot right there and then, I think.
Now, I love to talk about how king queen off is a big trap hand and no limit. I mean, I know Barry's trying to play aggressive, but I don't necessarily, well, he's going to call. I don't necessarily like to raise there because he's not trying to pick it up. He only made it 80 to go. Very difficult hand to play out of position and no limit holding king queen offsuit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and he's going to get into some trouble here. King 6-6. What a great flop for Joe. The board is paired. The only thing that Barry could catch here is a queen. It's a smooth call here by Joe. And
Actually,
I think,
you mean a king.
yeah, king.
Right.
A queen would not help him. The turn's a deuce. I think Barry needs to shut down now. What would Joe have smooth called him with? But he's going to bet again. He's going to bet 800. It was a $400 bet on the flop. Joe called. It's an $800 bet here on the turn.
Now, this is one of those times where you can slow play it, especially on the flop.
Right.
And one of the reasons you can do that is because you have position on the player. And if
Right.
he ever checks to you, you can bet if you want
But
to.
what a beautiful flop here, huh?
Oh, it's
for
perfect.
aces. Oh.
Perfect.
Against
You give,
someone with
you
the
give your
king.
opponent top pair,
Right.
and he's drawing dead to a king.
Right.
And there's only 2 kings left.
Look at him take the time, and he's going to milk this one. The pot is $2,000. It's $800 to call.
You know, the fact that Barry raised pre-flop, you go, okay, there's a good chance this guy's got ace
know,
king or king queen.
Again, people new to the show. I sometimes give Barry a hard time about getting off a top pair. He really needs to get off this hand when he gets raised. But Joe plays it slow again. He just calls. And the river's a king! Oh, my! Unbelievable. And he's going to bet again. It's a third diamond. He's
And I
going to
don't
bet
even think-
1,000. And I think Joe can just call here. He's going to call. Unbelievable. A $5,000 pot. King queen against Joe Wynn. He played it slow the entire time. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad,
I love the way Joe played the hand. I can't. I
Yeah.
can't criticize Joe at
No,
all.
I don't think. I mean, with that situation, I don't think it was that bad, Dave.
Joe knew where he was at.
Yeah.
The only thing I can question actually is the call on the river.
Well, you
Well,
know,
you're
if you
sitting
sit
there going-
back, yeah.
Well, you wonder. You go, okay, what does Barry have? Would Barry keep firing with queens, jacks, tens, nines,
Yeah.
eights? Would he keep firing with that? I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think Barry's going to fire on the flop, the turn, and the river with an underpair.
Well, let's go back to that hand too. I mean, let's replay that hand. He bet $1,000, I believe, into what was a $3,000 pot. Could you overbet the river as well? I mean, he bet $1,000 into a $3,000 pot, or would that make it much easier for someone to get off of aces? I mean, he played it like maybe he was uncomfortable with queens. Could you overbet and maybe have a guy try to call thinking you're trying to steal it, or a stubborn guy that can't get rid of aces? I mean, he only bet $1,000 at the
Yeah,
end.
I mean, you could overbet it
Yeah.
and kind of be like, and it would kind of almost raise an eyebrow. You're going, wait a second, why are you betting so much?
Right.
When you have the nuts,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, if Barry suddenly moves all in for $15,000 or something, you're going, wait a second. If you've got ace king or king queen, why would you do that?
Well, I'm just saying that Joe had about what looked like
He's got
maybe
another $3,000 still.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had about
Somewhere in
maybe
that range.
3,500 left. I mean, he only bet 1,000. It might have even been able to extract more there.
Possibly.
Wow.
I mean, to be
Unbelievable.
honest with you, I'll just throw this in a second here. Barry actually has got top pair.
But look at this track. Excuse me.
No, he doesn't have back. I'm
Track's
sorry.
got top and bottom.
200.
It's 9-6, and he's going to bet 200.
And Barry's just got second pair. Okay.
Yeah. Well, my issue too, Dave, was wait a minute. Well, Barry's got second pair here. He's got a gut shot because he's got a 10. He's going to call.
He's also got backdoor spades.
Yeah. And again, this hand, if he makes a straight, it's not really hidden. And there it is, a straight. 7 on the turn. Can Track get away from it? He's going to check.
And you wonder, are there any implied odds of hitting your straight like this?
Because can Track mighty fold 2 pair here? Exactly.
Well, we'll see right now, won't we?
Barry's going to bet 400.
It's unbelievable.
The problem by checking it to Barry is
Yeah.
you're inducing a bluff if Barry's bluffing, and now you kind of have no idea where you're at.
Pot's now 1,200, and the river is an 8.
Wow, well, Barry's made trips and a straight.
Track checks, and now Track's 2 pair. Don't play it.
No,
They don't play.
he's got nines and eights.
Barry
Track-
bets 1,000 here at the end.
The 8 should really save Track. I mean, now he's got nothing. He's got a pair of nines, a pair of
Yeah,
eights with a
and he's gonna
7
fold.
kicker.
I just wanted to know, Dave, again, I love Barry Woods. I think he's a really nice guy. I think he's improved his game tenfold. But I still haven't seen him make that laydown of top pair good kicker. And I want to know if he would he have gotten away from the king queen? Because I'm looking back and I say, I bet into the flop, a guy calls me, then I bet in the turn, and either if he raises me there or I bet the river and he raises me, my king queen is no good there with the flop of king 6-6, the way that hand played out.
Well, you got it. There's only 3 or 4 hands I'm scared of. Okay, I'm scared of pocket kings. I'm scared of pocket aces
Ace king.
and ace king.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a tough laydown, to be honest with you. My only surprise, and I'm going to throw this at all our viewers, and I'm going to throw this at you, is,
150.
and I got to be honest with you, I love the way Joe played the hand. I really do, until the river. Can Joe throw the hand away in the river? Can Joe not pay the $1,000 off of
Well,
it?
it's a good point that you make.
I mean, because
Yeah.
the thing that I don't understand is Joe took a good 30 seconds to call the turn. He wasn't sure. Should I raise here? Should I smooth call? How am I going to play this?
Yeah.
And he decided to smooth call the turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I like the play. Now the river comes out, and he took literally half a second to
Yeah,
call
it
$1,000.
didn't even click in his head that he could be beat. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it did
Yeah.
click in his head, but he just made a frustration call.
Well, but
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
the
like
whole
you said,
point.
you make a good point though. Can you lay that hand down? I don't even think he was considering laying.
Right,
it
I
down.
don't. But
Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't think he was beat, don't you think he raises the river?
All of your hand are so
Well, I don't think there's any way that he can raise the river. You're
There's
right.
no way he
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
right and real good.
It just surprised me. He took so much time to really think about what to do on the turn, and in a millisecond, he basically said, "God damn, king. Okay, I'll just call $1,000 out of
Yeah.
frustration almost."
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
And to me, he threw away $1,000.
I know you have an overpair when you call the turn. When you
I mean, obviously, we're privy to the hands. Right? We know what Barry has. But is there any way Barry doesn't have a king there? You think?
on the river.
It's a good question.
That my hand hit.
Barry's going to raise here with ace 10 of hearts, and Track calls with ace 7. King 8-3 here on the flop. Barry has the betting lead, and Barry's going to check, and Track checks. The turn is a queen. I think Barry's out of position here. Oh, wait a minute, I'm wrong. Track checks, and now it's up to Barry. He's picked up a gut shot.
And I said, okay, now
You know, it's funny. Barry checked the flop in position there, Dave, with the king. Now he's going to bet 120. Track's not going to get involved.
And I don't want to harp on the hand, but it was a really interesting hand. Do you think, Bart, do you think, Isaac, I'm going to ask Isaac this question, actually. No, Bart, do you think that if anything besides a king hits the river, and Barry throws a little $1,000 value bet on the river, do you think Joe raises all in on the river?
Absolutely. I think that's
Okay.
the way that he had planned the hand.
Okay, and then when the king comes, obviously,
Because, again,
kills
that
it.
is an absolute perfect flop for that hand. Anytime you have an overpair with an underpair flop, and it's very difficult unless the guy somehow has trips. I mean, and Barry raised it out of the blind, so it's...
Right,
You know,
if Barry was lucky enough to raise with 7-6 and he got trips, hey,
yeah,
so be it.
You know, that's... You know, it's just one of those things.
come here.
I mean, I know Barry could have had queens or jacks, but to me, the way he played the hand, the way he kept betting,
Yeah.
so persistent, to me, it screamed like he had to have a king.
Yeah.
He had to.
And then what are you going to do with it once you rip it?
Got an email here from Ebony Gentleman at AOL.com. He said, I saw your show in Card... I read the article in Card Player about your show, and I enjoy watching. One question, what's your advice on overcoming first-time jitters and playing for cash as opposed to non-cash games?
Great question.
Want to take that one?
Sure. Well, to me, I mean, the best thing you can do is you play. The more you play, the better you'll get at overcoming those jitters. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like you play for fun, get really comfortable with how it all goes about. You know, how the blinds play, where the button goes, who's to act first and stuff. And the best way to get over those jitters is just to sit down and do it. You
At
know?
whatever game you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, you can play a nice low-stakes game,
Right.
but just sit down and do it.
Three-way action here. It was limped around.
That's like that.
8, 9, 8, couple clubs. And
Mo's
Mo's got
got-
trip 8s.
yeah.
60.
And Leo is going to bet here, it looks like. He doesn't have anything. And again, Mo's just going to call. Well, it's heads up, Dave, but I mean, that's a pretty coordinated board. The turn's a 10.
100.
Well, now Leo's got a straight draw.
And now Mo's going to check raise all in. And so does Mo. Mo's got trip 8s with an open-ended straight.
Yeah,
draw.
now if a 7 were to hit and give Leo the straight, obviously it would be no good because Mo would have a full house.
Right.
So Leo actually needs a queen,
A queen.
80.
and only a queen.
Yeah.
Because of 80, he's not going to.
And Mo's gone all in only for 380 more, Dave. And the pot, I want to say, is... I think it's about... It would be about 800, so he's getting about 2 to 1. He's
Yeah,
not
and
gonna
Leo
play.
throws it away. Another thing I can also say is, if you really want to play and kind of get into playing poker, invite a couple of your friends over.
Yep.
You know, you can listen to Live at the Bike in the background
Yep.
and play a home game.
Absolutely.
That way, you know, you get a couple of beers or whatever you might drink, some chips, pizza, have a good time, play a home game. You know, have everybody buy in for say $10, $20 or whatever you guys are comfortable playing in, and then you get comfortable playing for a little bit of cash. If you lose $20, I mean, hey, that's cheaper than going to the movies anyway these days.
Got an email here from B. Klein KN at Heidelberg.edu. That sounds like a German college. And Hercules, the pimp. And they both asked the same question, Dave. We went over it, but we'll go over it again about running the river multiple times. Again, it's just to reduce the variance. The pot is chopped up in the amount of times you run it. So if you run it twice, the pot's chopped in half. If you run it 3 times, it's chopped in thirds. Both players have to agree to it, and it's just a way to reduce the variance.
Right.
50 more.
And basically, it's those two players.
Right. Now, George has got pocket aces, and he's going to raise to 150. Joe's going to call with this, looks like a gap-suited connector, 6-8 of hearts in C2. Mike's in there with higher hearts, and is Track going to come in here with 8-3? He's playing any 2 cards.
Hey, it's suited. Come on.
And we haven't heard from Jason in like an hour.
Yeah. He came out punching, you know, and then...
I mean, George is going to raise here out of the small blind. He's got to hold something pretty big. Because he plays pretty conservative in these big games.
You just took that play away from me. I can't do it now.
More players.
And once again, if you want to send a private message to me or Bart on 2+2, my name is Friar Tuck.
And my name is Bart Hansen.
There you go.
Queen 6-3 here.
Nice flop for George. Rainbow flop.
And he
Now-
checked it, Dave. He checked it. And Joe's got middle pair. The pot's about $600. And everybody
Wow,
checks.
that's a real dangerous
Wow,
check there,
turns
isn't
a
it?
jack, and now Track picks up. And he checked it again!
Well, I think he just wants to... Now that I know the jack, he almost wants the pot to be empty. I bet you he checks again here.
And the river's a 4. And now he bets.
What do I know?
Wow. Unbelievable. I mean, was he scared, or was he just trying to check raise?
I think you do too.
Well, I mean, I think he was trying to see if he could check raise the flop, see where everybody was at, and then when a jack of clubs
Well,
came out.
no one has a queen or a jack. I was going to say if maybe someone had top pair or second pair, they might call here the way the hand was played
Joe was
out.
considering it with a 6, though.
Yeah. Like maybe the guy played it like he had ace king. But that's pretty much all that Joe can beat here. Joe is going to lay it down. Well, track doesn't. I mean, track would have to raise here,
To
right?
be honest with you, I don't really understand the way of playing that hand. Because at this point, I mean, if George bets the flop, he might actually get called in a couple spots.
Well, if he induces track to make a move here, he looks like a genius.
Yeah, hey, it's a fine line.
Well, actually, you know what? Track has a pair. I didn't see that. He's got bottom pair. So I don't think he would raise. Maybe he would just call thinking he has the best hand. I didn't notice that he had flopped a pair there. I thought he only had 8 high.
And how much did he raise pre-flop?
And he's gonna pay him off. He's gonna make the $300 call at the end. That's about a $1,000 pot there for George.
And George is to show the aces. Everybody's kind of figuring, oh, that's how you play aces?
Yep.
Man.
Again, my PM on 2+2 is Bart, B-A-R-T, Hanson, H-A-N-S-O-N. There you go.
It's from here.
And once again, mine is Friar Tuck. Button is in seat 9 now.
Right.
And look at that. We're getting another chip count here. Barry is up in the lead now, $12,600 after he got that, really gave Joe that bad beat. King on the River killed him. Jason still about 11,000. We haven't heard much from him though. Mike, a little bite out of his chunk. He's down to 9,000. Mo still bringing up the rear at 850. I'd love to see Mo make a move here.
Yeah.
And Tommy Huffnagel still hasn't played much. Still has $1,600.
We had a raise here by Jason. We haven't heard from him. He made it 110 to go. He's got pocket queens. And Leo's going to call with 6-8 of clubs. And Track's got ace-jack of spades. And he's going to call. So we got three-way action, about a $330 pot. All clubs. And look at this. Leo flopped a flush. And he's open-ended straight flush.
350.
And Jason's got the queen of clubs. He's going to bet 350 with the overpair and the queen of clubs.
That's a
draw.
nice flop for two queens, you
See
know?
what Leo does. Is he going to check raise here?
Now, this is one of those cases where Jason's got outs, but he's got 2 less outs.
Right.
It's obviously the 10 or the 5 of clubs.
And Leo's
Would
going
be
to
a
play
straight
it
flush.
slow, Dave. This is one of my least favorite hands to slow play. I mean, it is only 3-handed. He's got a small flush, and he plays it slow. Not, what happens if another club comes? Well, here we go. And it's another club, but he's made the straight flush. He's got a straight flush, a 2-card straight flush.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Jason's not stupid, though.
Yeah.
It's very easy. I mean, you're not going to put Leo on a straight
Yeah,
flush.
check, check. And the river's a queen. Well, that's
Wow.
not going to really make any difference.
That makes no difference.
Yeah.
So I may have lobster with 300.
And Leo's going to bet 300 here.
Petit filet, no doubt.
And this is one of those times where if you're Jason, I mean, it's almost a crying call, and he hates
Yeah.
his hand. He looks
Can
at
you
it.
imagine if Jason had ace-ace with the ace of clubs, though, Dave?
Oh, well, then you're going to go broke on it.
Ace, king, club, or like a shoulder.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, Jason knows already. I mean, it's a $300 bet here. I want to say the pot was 1,000, so it's probably 300 into about a.
Lay this hand down on this table.
And look at this.
This is going to be a great laydown Jason's going to make here.
I wonder if Leo will show the straight flush.
I got him on ace, king, with king, club.
Well, not quite. 2 straight nights, or Wednesday and Friday here, Dave, where we have had 2-card straight flushes.
No, ace of clubs.
It's the size of the pot. You got to call it queen, man. You got no choice.
One player per hand, please.
Is this
One player per hand.
And he folds.
And look at Mike. Mike told Jason to call.
Yeah.
We'll lay down.
Jason, you call with your money then.
Right, and Leo didn't call. I mean, Leo
Great
didn't
laydown.
show. Leo didn't show.
That
That's
is a
great
great,
laydown.
great laydown by
Yeah.
Jason. I got to tell you, I'm really liking Jason's game. Now, Leo, obviously, the funniest thing is if Leo throws in a nice raise on the flop there, Jason might not believe it
Service here, too.
and might re-raise him. And you might get a much bigger pot. The 4th club actually kills your action.
We've never had a hand on Live Bike. We've had several straight flushes, but I've never seen a straight flush against the nut flush out there.
Right.
With, 4
it's rare.
cards. I mean, that would have been incredible.
But we always say sometimes it's the best reason not to slow play. It's not because you're going to kill your hand, but because you kill your action.
And that's exactly what happened. Like I said, it's kind of I don't like to slow play my small flushes because you never know. And he didn't get paid. He didn't make any more money off the hand.
Not
He
one penny.
check called the flop and made no more money.
Well, we get all diamonds and Track has flopped a flush.
And let's see how he plays the small flush.
Now this time nobody has anything.
He's going to bet. And he's got a gut shot straight flush, right? He bets 300 he's going to take it down.
I mean, you know what would have been really interesting?
Yeah.
Now, Jason had bet that flop, right, with his queens, and it was a raised pot. Now, if Leo comes right back over the top and re-raises it, what does Jason do? You know, does Jason sit there and go, come on, is this guy going to raise me with a flush right away? He might call, especially with the queen of clubs in his hands. Amazing. Great laydown by Jason. Really got to give him credit.
Okay, now.
Thing. We got pocket queens over here on the button for, looks like seat 2.
Yeah, that's Joe.
Yeah. And
Joe
Joe took that brutal beat with
Oh,
aces.
man, that's just tough luck there.
Yeah.
I mean, he played the hand perfectly. He's got Barry betting right into him.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And you know what? The pot was so big on the river, there's no way Barry was going to get away from it.
Yeah.
120.
And Joe's going to bring it 120.
Now, did Joe show those aces, by the way?
I don't think he did.
No.
I don't think he did.
Well, that's a real pro. Pros don't show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to know that he has aces by his reaction. I mean, he's not going to call all the way down with queens, right? You know?
Right.
And again, we are not big proponents. There's different schools of thought in poker. Some people love to trap. I'm speaking for you as well, Dave. In certain situations, you can do it, but we like to bet our hands. We like to almost fast play. But in that situation, in position, I have no problem with the way that Joe played the hand at all.
I love the way he played that hand.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, every situation always depends. But
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent, like in Super System 1, Doyle Brunson talks about it. He thinks check raising is somewhat, it just, you're not going to make the most money from that. He thinks the best thing you can do is if somebody raises, you call him and you hit your set, bet right into him.
Right.
Because there's a good chance that he'll raise you, and then you can re-raise him. You can pop him right back.
Right.
And I know you like to do that as well.
Right.
Some people just don't believe you, too, when you actually bet your strong hands.
Four-way action here. Ace, king, 7 with a couple of clubs.
Back to you, sir.
We got one king out there.
Well, Leo's got the ace, 5.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
And track bet here on the king. With king 8, he bet 80, and Leo called. Turns at 10.
Okay.
Check, check. And the river's a 9.
And this is, I assume this might go check, check. With Leo's checking or betting?
Yeah, check, check here.
Yeah. Ace 5, you're kind of just hoping to win the pot, right?
You don't really want to put any more money in there. Got another email here from SSK Slipstream22. He says, I've been watching the show for the last couple of months and enjoy it immensely. I thought I would finally join the email party. My question is, other than the 5-minute delay, what is done to protect the integrity of the game? For instance, who on the floor is privy to the cards in your commentary?
Actually, only our cameraman, Ray, can hear our commentary. Nobody's privy to the cards, actually, except the people in the production room.
Right.
But Ray can actually hear our commentary. He has a camera. He has a... And there Ray is, and he's got the headphones on.
Yeah.
And there's Donna. She actually is also privy to the cards.
And actually, the point of that email, too, I'm reading a PS here at the end. We have a 5-minute delay. We never allow the hand to go over our delay. If it's approaching the delay, we give them a countdown, and that's it.
Right.
I mean, obviously, that protects the integrity of gaming and our show.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also very easy for us. I mean, you got to understand that we have 8 eyes in here, 4 people in the production room.
Right.
And obviously, all we're doing is watching the game.
Right.
If something looked a little fishy, we'd know it real quick.
Now, Barry raised here with ace-king and Mike called him with the king-10 of clubs.
And once again, we have zero tolerance for anything that would be suspected cheating.
We don't allow electronic devices on the table, no cell phones.
2 players.
Now, Barry bets 140 and Mike calls. Mike's setting up a play. The turn's a jack. Mike picks up a gut shot now to the 9. Let's see what Barry does. We've seen Barry actually fire multiple times at boards before, Dave. It's something that he's actually pretty good at. And again, Mike could be in there with any 2 cards.
Any 2.
Yeah.
260.
And Mike's going to bet 260 now. Because a lot of times, you might call someone once because they'll make that continuation bet one time and then they'll shut down here if they have ace-king on
Well,
the
Mike
turn.
will often do that, right?
And Mike calls again. 260.
And this is one of those cases where Barry misses and he checks.
Yeah.
Mike might bet and win.
Well, he's gonna bet again, I think.
$700.
And I don't necessarily know if I would have the balls to do this because it's like, well, geez, Mike's got something, right? And look at this. Mike's going to raise. He missed his draw, and he's going to raise.
I love how you say missed his draw. What draw?
Well, he had a gut shot. He makes it 1,600. Could you ever call here with ace-king high?
Yeah,
It's
it's good. I mean, it's a tough call, though.
Look at this. He says, I think you have a straight draw. It's 900 more.
That's what he's putting him on. He said he thinks maybe he's got ace-9. King-9.
Yeah, you got a higher straight.
And Mike's saying, I have a straight.
My 4 or 5 is.
I don't think Barry's going to call this, but, I mean, that's an amazing call to make with ace-king.
I mean, I've made a few calls, not to toot my own horn, but I've made a few calls with ace-king in a tournament or something where you put the guy on a bluff.
Right.
But you better put somebody on I mean, it's a tough call.
I mean, Dave, it's basically 1,000 more, I think, here to call.
1,000 more?
And the pot, I want to say, is about $3,000.
I mean, Mike did play. I mean, Mike does slow play. Like, Mike could have flopped this straight, actually, had 9-10,
Yeah.
and played it exactly the same way. I mean, it's a tough call.
This would be the call of the century here.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, if Barry calls here with ace-king and wins, this would be the most amazing call we've ever seen.
And it's a great bluff by Mike.
Yeah.
6,500.
I mean, Barry actually bet the river to kind of avoid
Well, the other
getting
thing,
the
the
situation.
scary thing is, though, it's like, what if he backed into some accidental pair? He had a pair and a straight draw. The thing is, though,
But
you
what,
wouldn't-
though?
Hey, look, he makes the call, Dave. He's going to make the call. And ace-king is good.
Wow, that's an
Turn
amazing
it over,
call.
Barry. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Wow.
And that is a great call.
What a read. How much action do I get? All I have to do is have a hand.
Wow, and that is a great
Hey,
call.
look at what Mike said. How much? I mean, all I
Let's
have
hear
to. Well, Mike said, how much action do I get? All I have to do is get a hand, but he has been betting his good hand strongly, though.
Yeah, let's hear. Wow.
Holy cow.
And like I want to say, though, actually, Mike would have played 9-10 almost the exact same way. Smooth
Yeah.
smooth call, and then raising the river.
I can't bluff anymore. I get too much action. Everybody calls me no matter what. All I need to do is have a hand.
Wow.
I think you read him right.
What a call by Barry Woods. And you know what? You give Barry a lot of crap, and I know you do because he has trouble getting away from hands.
Right.
But that's a great read.
Two that we know about.
Wow. And that was going to be the bluff of the night right there.
Well, I think it is the bluff of the night. It just didn't work. King deuce 5 here.
No wonder we don't have any bluffs. Nobody can bluff anybody
Right.
at this table. Everybody calls everybody down. You know, we got to make it like the call of the night.
Right.
Maybe we'll change the price.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Well, I mean, the reason why I give Barry a lot of crap is because I think sometimes he calls with top pair and over pair when I think it's either apparent that he's beat or that he just can't get rid of it. That's a different situation. I think that he reads Mike as having some sort of straight draw. He called with ace king. He can only beat a bluff there. It's different from beating two pair or a set.
Yeah, I mean, he can't even beat he can't even beat a bad like a pair of sixes.
Well, the other thing too, you look back at it, and if Mike had made an accidental pair and thought his hand was good at the end, would he have raised? Would he have just called? Unless he made like an accidental bottom pair and he thought he needed to raise to win. And that would be the only thing that would kill Barry.
Yeah, that's the problem though.
Yeah.
You don't think if Mike had turned if Mike has a 9, right?
Yeah.
He has to bet the river. He has to raise the river to win the pot.
Yeah.
If he had a jack, I don't think he's going to raise, right? If he has top pair, he's not going to raise that.
I'm saying if I just switch gears all of a sudden.
Wow.
Barry raises here with ace king of hearts.
Called all night.
What a call by Barry Woods.
I gotta say, I mean, I know Mike's having a hard time, and he's like, well, I'm getting so much action. I should just bet my hand. And I think it's
yes, he should have bet.
I think that people might be picking up on the pattern. We've seen it 3 times tonight where he's just slow played monsters all the time. And again, it's almost like he has nothing, or he had the straight on the flop, right? Or a set.
Yeah, I mean, the way he played it, you look at it and you go, okay, why would he? He's check call. Now he's throwing in a big raise. He's literally got nothing or a huge hand.
Right.
Something big enough to actually raise. Because remember, you're not going to raise with one little pair.
I want a platform. I figured I'd try something.
Jason is raised up to 140 here with deuce 9 of spades. Mike's in there. It's where heads up, deuce 9 against 6-7.
Wow, what a call by Barry Woods.
Don't say anything.
Jack 5-4 here. Mike has picked up an opening the straight
We're all
draw.
in 4-1 underdog. We got lucky.
That's 4. 2 players.
Now he's really talking some trash at the table. $400 bet here by Jason. Mike quickly calls.
Well, he's talking trash about the play that Track when Track
Right.
made his flush. So that you put all your money into a 4-1 underdog and you made your hand. Wasn't quite a 4-1 underdog, but
Jason's going to bet again here.
Get your ace on the turn.
What do you got, Jack?
And Jason wins with 9 high.
You know, it's funny. I think that Jason should show the bluff here to Mike just to get him more
Now,
schemes.
just out of curiosity, 9 high actually is the best hand. Is that a bluff?
right.
Where'd you come from, Brian?
Oh.
No prize so far. Hey, he's doing good. Yeah,
He's my man.
We're getting an email here from Will Doyle that the hand that Joe Wynn had aces, maybe he did show Barry Woods.
Okay.
Anyways, I didn't think he did. But.
Sitting down, I was sitting cup all the time.
And we're rolling in. We got about a half an hour left in the show.
Wow, a couple of real highlight hands.
Yeah.
What a call by Barry Woods. And we've seen him make some epic calls over the last 8-9 months, huh? But that one's got to be one of the best ones ever with just ace king high.
I think it's the biggest call we've ever seen here on Live with the Bike. I don't think we've ever seen. I mean, for that type of money,
A $1,600 raise.
it was 1,000 more.
1,000
more to win about a $3,000 pot. Now, Tommy Heffnagel, I believe, has raised it up here.
Plus the 30 hours.
Ace Queen of Diamonds. This is about the third hand he's played tonight.
Now he's out. He's got a best hand and he's in position. Wow, and he's flopped a flush.
Well, Joe's got a pair. Let's see if Tommy's. Yeah, Tommy's going to slow play here a little bit.
Well, heads up, in position.
George,
Turns a
did you get
10.
your menu? Oh, you ordered.
Problem is, Joe knows Tommy. I don't think Joe's going to give him any action.
Tommy's going to bet 120.
Well, then again, what do I know?
And Joe's going to call. And the river's a jack. And now is this the type of pot that you try to overbet because you're trying to represent ace queen or ace king, and maybe this guy has a lingering pair here at the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're just wondering, what's he in there with?
Well, it's a $300 bet. And Tommy's going to take it down. Joe folds.
Makes about $250 on that
So I got to
pot.
think, Dave, that right now Mike is the leader for biggest bluffer of the night. I mean, several bluffs.
Well, please email us and let us know who you think deserves the tickets tonight.
Right.
I think next week we might actually change this show to the best player, or the best play of the night.
Yeah.
Whether it be a great call, a great bluff, or even just a great read, whatever it might be. A great laydown, even.
Oh, you think actually the best play of the night?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the best player of the night. Like tonight, there are a couple of great plays that stand out in my head. Are one of them being Jason laying down pocket queens with queen of clubs,
Right.
and then obviously that call with ace king.
I think that's a good call by you. We might want to change that.
Two great calls. So we'll
Kind of
see.
like the horse trailer thing on Monday Night Football.
Exactly.
Horse trailer.
Exactly. Not necessarily who wins the most money, because
Right.
any donkey can win a lot of money. But I'm talking about the best play of the night. And to me, it would be between Jason and Barry Woods. Now, Barry happened to get really lucky with that king and queen, so I'd almost give it to Jason tonight.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to change it right now for tonight.
Although Jason's got a couple of number of
that's
good
true.
bluffs too.
Now, George raised here with ace king.
I think Jason's actually had the only successful bluffs tonight. So please email us. Let us know who you think deserves the Bluff of the Night award.
No shame in photos.
Okay. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. Exactly the same.
And George is going to take it down. Well, this is an email, and if it's a legitimate email, thank you very much. We have an email here from Vikinger Eriksson. He says, love your show, a viewer from Iceland. It's 4:30 in the morning here. So there you go.
And he's pretty sure
Vikinger?
Joe did show the hand also.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Hello,
very much.
and I said that. Hello from Reykjavik. They used to do deals there from Boston to Reykjavik on Icelandic Air.
Okay.
So the quick little vacation from the East Coast. They have natural hot springs during the winter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of hot springs.
Medium rare there.
Bjork.
But this one is different.
You know the Bjork?
Yep.
Yep. 983 here, Rainbow.
King 9, the best hand. George.
160.
And we got a bet here by Mike with an 8, and Leo's going to raise it up with ace queen.
And Mo called.
And Mo called in between with jack 7. He's got a gut shot to the 10.
Now, Mo is rebought, by the way. You're wondering,
Yeah,
wait a
look at
second,
him.
why would he
Yeah.
call? He's got another $5,000, $6,000.
So we got a bet, a raise, and a bet, a call, and a raise. And do you think George is going to lay the king 9 down? No, he's not. He's
How
going
about
to
a raise?
re-raise. He's going to make it 400 to go.
Let's play the last 3 hands, man.
And he's going to get rid of all these characters.
Show the bluff, man.
Nice play by George there.
Show the bluff.
Yeah.
Nice play by George. Yeah, show the bluff.
Oh, he just did.
Yep.
And then 3 people. Pissed him off. Now he's going to play every hand.
Look at this, Dave. We got an email here from Diane Woods.
Who's Diane Woods?
She says, I may be biased, but my husband rocks. Well, there you go.
Oh, wow. And look at that. You know, everybody knows. Actually, I won't even go there. I was going to say something, and I bit my tongue. Well, thank you very much, Diane. Appreciate it.
That's the first time we've heard from her.
I actually think a lot of Barry. Barry's a really nice guy. Yeah. Really, really nice guy. And very cool at that. I mean, his son is like a snowboarding instructor, and I mean, how cool is that? Man. It's like when I die in my next life, I want to be Barry's kid.
Limped around here. Ace-6-9 with a couple of spades. Mo's got ace-8.
Mike's got second pair.
Mike's going to bet.
80.
And Mo just calls.
See if Mo's game's changed up a little bit now that he's got more chips.
The thing is, it seems like whenever Mo calls, people just tend to respect him and they'll just shut down.
Well, now Mo's got a open-ended straight draw, too.
Mike's going to bet again. He's going to bet 120. And Mo calls. And the river's a king, and look at that. Mike's got two pair. Time to value bet.
Oh, definitely.
And he's going to bet.
320.
And look at that. Mo tried to make it look like he was going to fold. Kind of that reverse, like I'm going to call you type thing, and King 9 is good, and Mo's just not. Two pair at the end there.
And once again, I don't dislike the way Mo played the hand, because the way Mo played the hand was if he bet at any moment.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If Mike had an ace,
Yeah.
Mike is going to call him,
Yeah.
and he's probably beat because his kicker's no good.
Right.
And if Mike doesn't have an ace, well, he's not going to call. So why not check and let Mike bet? Why not induce the bluff the whole way? I mean, it just turns out Mike got lucky.
If they work at that, they're going to see more flaws.
Man.
Wow.
What a night. Once again, folks, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman. I'm here with Bart Hansen, my good buddy, Bart Hansen. And we're playing No Limit Hold'em with 10-20 blinds. It's Friday night, and it is bluff night.
Dave, I got a shot of Patron and a beer right around the corner for you in about 25 minutes. I look forward to this time of this week every single week. I mean, it's kind of sad because it's another week ended of Live at the Bike.
Yeah. But we'll be back next Monday, and it'll be Monday through Friday, 6 to 9.
That's right.
I can't play against you.
3 players.
We got three-way action here, and we had a raise there by, I believe it was by Mike, and he's hit top pair. Now, Joe's got a flush draw here with an overcard, and Track's got the nut flush draw.
Oh.
And Mike's bet 500 here with Queen 10.
Well,
500 into about a $300 pot.
You know what? I mean, there's 10-9 out there. Somebody can easily have a straight draw. There are flush draws out
and
there.
And Track calls. Let's see what Joe does in C2. He's got the second nut flush
now, this
draw.
is one of those, I guess this is reverse implied odds.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you're calling for not the nuts.
You do not know if your hand is good here.
Especially when you get a caller in between. You go, okay, maybe one of these guys is a 10.
Yeah.
What does the other guy have? Does the other guy have maybe Jack Queen? Or does the other guy have the ace high flush draw? Who knows?
Well, it's almost like he thinks he's going to get priced in here now.
Well, he does have the king high flush draw.
Yeah. Let's see what he does here.
Man, mental note, do not bluff Barry Woods.
3
Huh?
players.
And he make the call.
Uh-oh, diamond comes, Joe is going to be hurt.
The turn is a 6. The pot's about $1,800.
What do you do if you're Mike here? You got to push hard, don't you?
And now Joe's going to move all in. Is he representing 7-8 here? Maybe 7-8 of diamonds? How much has he gone in here for? He's moved in $1,200 here, Dave, into an $1,800 pot. So it's $3,000 here, $1,200 for Mike to call. And does Mike want to shut Track out here? He just calls. He's just going to call. And now, again, does that price Track in here?
Well, you wonder, 1,800, 3,000,
4,200, 1,200 to call.
You know, he's getting a little bit more than 3 to 1 on his money.
Yeah.
3.5
to come.
3.5 to 1 on his, with 1 card to come.
Is he going to get all of Mike's chips? Is it implied odds? If a diamond comes, will he get paid off by Mike on the side,
Right,
on the river?
He's got to look at it and go, well, how much money do I have? Now, once again, the diamond is always pretty obvious. The straight is less obvious.
Well, if he folds, Joe could get... And he's going to make the call. We're going to build some money on the side. Dave, the pot is $5,500 here going to the
And
river.
Track needs an ace or a diamond, by the
And
way.
Joe needs a king or a 4. And the river's a 5, and Mike escapes it all.
Wow.
Extra 10.
10 is good.
See, this is one of those cases. Now, this actually shows. Now, Mike takes down a $5,500 pot. Everybody misses.
Yeah.
But this kind of illustrates something. Notice how Mike did not bet top pair there
At the end, right, exactly.
because he didn't have to.
Right.
There was, and I think that kind of went into Barry's thinking. He said, "Wait a second. Why is he betting? Why is he raising me?
Right,
He's got to either have the nuts or nothing at all."
right.
It's one of the reasons why sometimes you want to bet that in the river. We noticed Jason last time earlier. He likes to bet that river anyway.
Dave, maybe, I think we've done this before. Maybe in your little conclusion post that you put on 2+2, we can either add it to the thread or maybe add it in a new thread in this forum about that exact hand. Do you remember?
I do.
I think it's a very interesting hand to post up there at the Ace King
Now,
against a very
fortunately-
loose, aggressive player.
Yeah, fortunately, Barry Woods, I think his name on 2+2 is B-Dub.
Yeah.
And he usually posts, so he'll
Right.
probably have his own explanation out there, too.
Wow, look at this Ace Queen and Ace Deuce. Jason's got Ace Deuce. Leo's got Ace Queen.
Uh-oh.
And Jason's going to come. He's going to bet. And Leo's just going to smooth call here with
Another
top
time.
2 pair.
Another time where an action killer could come out.
Yep.
If a diamond comes out, or the board pairs, and it's not a deuce, obviously.
Now, wait a minute. What's going on here? It looked like... Oh, excuse me. All right, it's up to Track. Track folds.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
If a queen were to come, that would
Right.
obviously kill the action.
Or a diamond.
diamonds.
Well, there's a pretty safe card, Dave. 9 of clubs. And let's see what happens here on this street.
Come on, Leo, throw in a raise, buddy.
240.
Jason's going to bet 240.
And he is going to raise.
And Leo's going to raise. And this would be a monster laydown for Jason, too. What is Leo raising me with here?
Now, it was raised pre-flop, so...
River, your Yahoo call.
How much is he raised here to? He's going to make it 500 more.
What are you scared of if you're Jason here? Ace, queen, pocket queens?
Could he have had ace 9? Was Leo the pre-flop raiser, I want to say? I think he was on the button. Jason led right out on the flop, and Leo smooth called. So again, and now he's raised the turn.
It really represents strength. You
Yeah.
start thinking of hands that he might have.
It's a 500 more here,
Would he make this play with ace king?
and Jason's going to call.
Well, this is a tough hand to get away from top
Talk
and
about
bottom.
$1,800. The river's a king, and now Jason's hands continues to decrease, Dave.
Yeah.
And look at this. Jason's going to put a little blocker bet here on the river. Because it's straight draws out there. He's going to bet 500.
Yeah, and he really wants to see this down cheap.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
This is a perfect example of a blocker stop bet here on the river.
On the-
Dave.
yeah.
know what you have.
Yeah.
He wants to see the river. He wants to see the...
Call or muck, I'll tell you what you have.
I actually have a raising hand, but I'll let you walk.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah, and that exactly. Leo says, I have a raising hand, but I'm just going to call because the king freezed him up there at the end.
That's the exact definition of what a blocker bet is.
Yeah, great definition.
Because the problem is, Jason's got a strong enough hand that he really wants to show it down.
Right.
But if he checks, he might be faced with $1,000 or even a $1,500 bet on the river, which he
Right.
doesn't want to call.
Right.
Good, no raise
So he
before
throws a little
the flop.
$500 bet in there,
Yeah.
I called that, man.
and he gets to see it down for that much.
And we got another chip count here. So Barry, I think he's the big winner of the night. 15,200. Jason's got over 10,800. Corporation Mike, Dave, he's down.
What a roller coaster ride he's been on,
since the
huh?
last chip count. Unbelievable.
Well, he was at 5,000, up
Yeah.
to 13, now down to 7.
And Mo rebought. He's at 8,000. Joe's down, and Tommy's at about 1,600.
Tommy's still at 1,600,
Yeah.
but I got to be honest, he's one of the best players in the game. Tommy is total old school. If you talk about all the old time players, he's played with them all.
When you're if I was like, fourth, third or fourth, I might raise it a little bit.
So again, yeah, maybe we can post up the exact details of that hand. Dave.
Yeah.
It's an interesting hand.
And Jason shoves his
Because
chip
I
in
haven't
there.
seen a hand like that ever in Live at the Bike. Such a big call with Ace King High. That with
Huge.
no care.
No, he wants to call me and talk about cars.
Wow. A lot of garbage out there this time. Look at the 7 deuce 5s and 5-7. But Jason actually raised it up.
With deuce 7 offsuit. George is going to call with pocket 5s.
Well, you know what? Now, if you're watching the game, you know that Jason just took a pretty bad beat with the ace
Right.
deuce, right? Not necessarily a bad beat, it's a tough beat.
Yeah.
You wonder if maybe he's tilting a little bit. See if I can snap him off.
Both cars are too big.
Three-way action here.
Yeah.
8, 4, and 9.
Cheddar or Volkswagen or Passat.
And Jason is definitely prone to steam, Dave, for sure. Track's got a gut shot.
Those are great cars. Yeah.
Now let's see what Jason does here. No, he's not going to. I imagine if there were big scare cards out there, he would have bet, Dave. But,
200.
and I'm surprised that George didn't bet there. He checked, and now Track's going to bet. Maybe he's afraid that maybe Jason will check raise.
Well, I mean, you certainly get to see what happens here.
Yeah.
He might check raise this if. No, he just folds it. Got a question from the Icelandic viewer, wanting to know if any of these players have won a major tournament. And Tommy Huffnagel on Seed 8 actually has a World Series poker bracelet. Won one in 1998. There he is in the red shirt. And a lot of these players are predominantly cash game players.
Right.
That's funny. I mean, TV has kind of made a lot of stars out of these tournament players. You know, players
We're
that
trying to
would-
make these guys stars, Dave.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the players that you never would have heard of had it not been for tournament TV poker.
Right.
But some of the best players in the world are actually cash game players.
Absolutely. Look at this. Corporation Mike limps in with Ace King here. I got to say, if there's a raise that comes up from out back, he's going to re-raise, but that's surprising.
7 players.
7-way action. Well, Ace 8-8. It's an. Does anybody have an 8 here? No. Okay,
Well,
he's got the
I mean,
best
you got
hand.
lucky here. The
Yeah.
problem is, though, is if I have Ace King,
Right.
I don't know where I'm at. Now, George also has an ace.
120.
And we have a $120 bet here by Mike with Ace King.
I mean, 7 people were in this flop,
Look at
right?
this. Joe's got a flush draw here.
How do you know if somebody has an 8 or not?
Right.
Now, this is one of those times if I'm Joe, do I really want to go for the flush for the paired board? Very easy for somebody to have an 8.
I think the answer is going to be yes.
Yeah.
He's going to call. Wait a minute. He's going to check raise.
He's going to check raise.
And let's see what Mike does
Wow,
now.
and now we just got this hand. I didn't even see it. Track actually has 6-8.
Wow, Track does have an 8. Mike called either Mike called a raise and Track moved all in. Mike re-raised and Track moved all in.
Yeah.
And is Mike going to be able to get away from Ace King here? We didn't see it. It wasn't up, but he had the 8, Dave.
Yeah, now George has quickly thrown away Ace 7.
Yeah.
And it gets back to Joe. Now Joe's got diamonds.
And look at it. It looks like it's about 2,000 more.
This is one of those times. This is one of those times Joe's got to put one of these players on an 8, you know?
Yeah.
And if you put one of these players on an 8, you really want to go for a diamond draw.
Right. You don't have all clean diamonds here, and obviously the 6 of diamonds would not be good. But he's going to make the call. And now what does Mike do, though?
This is an easy laydown if you're Mike. This is an easy laydown. An unraised pot.
Yeah.
Ace King is garbage on this hand. He raised. He got all the information
there
he
it
wanted
is.
to get.
I just wondered if he would call if it was just him heads up with Track.
Now Joe needs some sort of needs a diamond or like a runner queen, a runner
I
10.
said something in Vietnamese, man. They're probably chopping me up. No bullshit.
They both got an 8. They both got an 8.
And everybody thinks they both have an 8, but no, Joe's got a flush draw.
You see both hands.
They're going to run it 2 times.
They're going to run it twice.
They both got an 8.
One more.
Turns a 5, Rivers a Jack. Track wins that one.
Yeah, and Joe's not even showing his hand yet.
Turns a
They
King.
both have an 8 if they want to.
No.
No.
And Joe's going to lose both times.
Chop it up.
Yep.
And they're saying chop it up, but obviously it's not a chop pot here. Track is going to win this with trip 8s.
Yeah.
And then the last guy's obviously had a full house.
Again, we didn't have it up there. We didn't have Track's 8 up there, but it's exactly what we said happened. Mike didn't bring it in. And I wonder would he be able to get away from the re-raise, to 2,000 there.
It was interesting. You said 7 ways, and then I looked up and I only saw 6 hands.
Right.
So I was like, where's the mystery hand? And sure enough, the mystery hand had an 8 in it.
Last try. I'm surprised you did that, huh?
He said he makes $1,300. I'm calling
Joe
him.
just sat down and rebought for 2,200 and just lost it. Dude.
But you
We
got
all
you
were.
got an 8.
Tough night for Joe. I mean, he got a real bad beat with those pocket aces. And maybe steamed off the rest of his
You
money
got an
there.
8 on the second time.
Sometimes that happens to the best of us, You lose a big pot, it's a tough beat, and then you end up steaming through the rest of your money. And you've got, obviously, if you're going to be a professional poker player and you do this for a living, you have to avoid that steam. You
Right.
have to avoid tilting.
100% in, man. Easy, Jag.
You're gonna look here.
180. Really?
Got a raise here by Jason to 180. Ace 4 offsuit. And Mike's going to call with King 10. And here we go. Heads up between these two guys. 10-5 deuce, couple diamonds. Mike checks.
Now this is heads up. Mike is going to slow play just one pair here, and that's pretty much because he knows Jason's going to bet it.
It's a big stack. Jesus Christ.
And this is, I think this is Mike playing Jason. An aggressive player playing an aggressive player.
Jason bets 400. And Mike just called. Just called. Turn is an 8. Check.
It's tough to slow play something when you're out of position, though.
Hey, look at this. Jason's going to look at that stack. He's in for 1,500 here, it looks like. Oh, 1,000. Going to bet 1,000.
Now, Jason's got outs, though.
Let's see what Mike does.
Mike should raise this one now.
No, he's just going to call again.
See, Jason's got outs, though. Jason's got a 3 or an ace.
And the river's an ace. And it's a diamond. It might save Mike. He just played it slow the whole time.
I got to tell you, I think Jason checks this now. I don't think Jason needs to bet it now because he has made his hands.
You got it?
I agree with you, Dave. I think he might just check it down.
Especially it's the third diamond. Does Jason really want to bet it?
Now, what has Mike done? What's the action here? Well, Mike checked, and Jason's going to bet again. He's going to bet 1,000. Wow. He's going to bet 1,000 into a pot that was already 3,000, so it's a $4,000 pot, 1,000 to call.
It's one of the things I love about Jason's game is he's even betting that hand. So it's one of those things you go, wait a second. Why would he, if he doesn't have diamonds, most people would say, oh, he either has the absolute nuts or he's got nothing at all.
Yeah.
And Mike will probably end up calling this because of
I don't
that.
have jacks, man.
Queens or kings?
I'm not saying, man.
All right, I'm going to lay this down.
Oh, Mike's going to lay it down.
At least figured out where I was at. You know?
Good lay down, man. I got lucky. Let me show you one.
He showed the 4.
Well, he said he got lucky. Could have been a lot of things. Could have been 4-3.
Lay down, Mike.
Jason told him it was a good laydown, though.
And now Mike is saying, I should have popped the flop. I should have check raised the flop. He played it slow, and he basically allowed free cards to kind of fall off. I mean, even though Jason was betting the whole time.
Yeah, I don't mind inducing the bluff because Jason's so aggressive, but we always say if you're out of position and it's heads up on the turn, what are you going to do? Check and then just kind of, you're going to bet the river anyway?
Right.
Why not check raise the turn at least? I don't think Jason can call a big check raise in the turn, can he? With just a wheel draw and an ace card and an ace.
All right, I'm on tilt. Okay, 320.
We got a raise here by Jason with 9-5 of clubs, and Mike has come over the top with ace-queen offsuit.
Your buddy's in, man.
And Track is going to call with king-jack.
Your buddy's in.
King-jack suited, a raise and a re-raise. And look at him. Jason says, your buddy's in the hand now, Mike. Your buddy's in the hand.
Yeah, those guys are like best friends, huh?
Yeah.
You got a big hand, huh?
They're probably going to go out after the show, don't you think?
I just gave you, what, 1,500? Should have popped on the flop.
And Mike calls with 9-5 of clubs.
Yeah, Jason.
Here we go. Excuse me, Jason.
Yeah. Gets confusing,
It's
I know.
about a $1,000 pot. King 7-7. Track's got the best hand.
Nice flop for Track.
And Mike's going to lead out.
Wow, that's a big bet. It's like 600?
Well, he's going to bet 800. About the size of the pot. A little over the size of the pot.
800?
Oh, 800 into a $700 pot?
No, I know it.
Actually, wait a minute. No, the pot's 1,000. It's 800 into a $1,000 pot.
Now, what does Track do? Does Track raise him right away?
It's an $1,800 pot. Does Track know he's good? You can't necessarily definitely know you're good here. Mike could have ace-king.
Oh, king-queen.
King-queen or aces. I mean, Mike did re-raise, but again, Mike, let's see what Track does.
He smooth
He
calls.
just calls.
Going to see what Mike does. And Mike's going to need an ace or running spades.
$2,600 pot here going to the turn. And the turn is an ace, and it gives Track the nut flush draw. Oh, man. Oh, wow.
Come on, keep pushing, Mike. Keep pushing.
This is unbelievable.
I check, man.
And he's going to check the ace. He checks.
And now if you Track, do you take the free card?
And he's going to move all in. He's moved all in. So I think Mike's induced this bet, Dave. He's going to move all in for, it looks like, $3,500.
Well, let's
the
be honest.
pot.
Mike almost didn't. It's almost like Mike didn't like the ace. It's almost like Mike had queens or something.
The pot now. Well, maybe he's scared of a 7.
Well, think about it. He bet 800, and Track called him.
Yeah.
You can start thinking, what can I beat?
Yeah. The pot is about 6,500. It's 3,500 to call.
I know. Why wouldn't Mike throw in a little bet on the turn, see where he's at?
Look at, he's going to fold it. He's going to fold it. And let's see if Track turns over the bluff.
I mean, that's a heck of a semi-bluff.
Wait a minute. Did he make the call? I'm trying to figure out if he made the call. He did. He didn't make the call. He's not going to show it.
And the river would have been a jack of hearts, actually.
Wow. But it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have mattered.
No,
though.
it would not.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Because Mike had aces and
up.
sevens.
Yeah.
One of those times where your pair is no good.
I'm surprised the track didn't show the hand, Dave. Wow.
I've never been called that before.
We've seen, this is going to be the last hand of the night, Dave. We've seen so many plays where people have just smooth called and kind of slow played stuff, and then the killer card comes. You know, the ace comes on the turn, the 1-over card.
Went to the bank and said,
And I think Mike was genuinely scared about the smooth call.
The funny thing, for being at bluff night, the only person who's getting bluffed out of hands is Mike.
Right.
Wayne, I've run into some monsters here, man. What are you doing? Just pulled out $2 grand. This Yahoo sucked out on the river. What'd you have that hand?
So last hand of the night looks like, fittingly,
I don't remember.
well, we've got, everyone has limped around here. Well, he's got pocket 10s in the blind.
I got lucky, man.
Ace, queen, 5.
George's got top pair here.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Wow, another exciting night at Live the Bike.
One of my biggest problems.
George is going to bet. He's going to bet 120 here with the ace.
When he hit
He called the way.
in a turn. Then he
Leo shows pocket 10s.
That's what I don't understand now.
Hey, he's ripping you, Mike. You bet nothing and throw away the nuts.
That's what I don't get it.
And that's going to do it, I think.
Yeah, that's it for the night, Dave.
What an exciting night of Live the Bike. Huh?
Absolutely incredible night, and we gonna award these tickets. And I think you're on to something. Next week we'll probably do, best play,
Best player of the night.
best player of the night, and these tickets are gonna go to Corporation Mike.
Yeah, I think so.
So pretty incredible. He's gonna have a choice between Clippers tickets and Kings tickets. So. Another week of Live at the Bike down, Dave.
Another week. Gone. Maybe Mike will take me.
Incredible night. So, for everyone here in the booth and for David Tuckman, again, you can PM us at Friar Tuck. And I'm Bart Hansen.
Yes, you are.
And I'm Bart Hansen. So, good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Good night.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.